Peggy 12.
You won't be disappointed. If these two don't give me what I want, I may have to come in there and bust them up myself. Amazing awareness there. She makes Dangerous look so good. Gotta remember, a cornered animal is the most dangerous. Oh wow, someone just got turned into a hashtag.
You call, I answer.
This is where things are gonna get very interesting. Making him sweat with these shurikens. We live for these kind of fights. They got the advantage. Gotta start cooking here. That's what happens when you have an irresistible force meeting an immovable object. Time for some good old violence. This is how you stay limber. You gotta crack every last limb. What in the world did we witness? That was unbelievable!
Alright everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sets here on Capcom Fighters, the Tuesday show, as we refer to ourselves as, where we put two players from around the globe into the arena to exhibit themselves in a first to 10. And of course we have the pre-match interview and the post-match interview to get to know more about the players and their mindset towards Street Fighter 5. And soon to be Street Fighter 6 as well. I'm going to be your host once again for tonight, Jammers, and alongside me and my multicolored hoodie, I'm going to be joined by my lovable minions. Well, one of them was being very annoying tonight, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be right as rain and be super enjoyable tonight. But yes, they are joining me, and apparently, okay, no, we're all good, we are good. There he is on the left.
I was doing the look
Veggie, and then Ovaha, did you get a haircut? You must have got a haircut. You got a haircut? You got a haircut?
Yeah, I got trimmed down.
There we go. We're going to talk about your haircut first. That's a lovely haircut.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
You want to say something, Veggie?
I said your left or the viewers left? I mean, my left or the viewers left?
The viewers left.
Probably the
You're
viewers.
on the viewers left and my left. Ovar's on my right. Ovar, how you doing? That's a nice haircut.
Thanks, bro. I'm doing really good. I've had a lovely evening with you two guys. It's always fun.
It's only been 10
always
minutes.
a fantastic time with you guys.
It's been 10 minutes of turmoil. Anyway, Veggie, talk to me. How you
What's
feeling?
up? I'm feeling really good. I mean, I had really fun. I thought we were all enjoying our deep discussions about life. And
Intellectual?
Intellectual discussions about water and ice cream. But I guess that's not... I guess I was the only one.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm still here. I'm not offended at all. So we can go on with the show.
Well, that's great. I'm so glad you're not offended, because if you guys heard the conversation we were having before this, I'm pretty sure you all would have thought we were the laughing stock of the FGC as well.
We need to do a behind-the-scenes kind of thing.
Well, maybe we will in due time when all of us can put a tight knit, be as diplomatic as ever. But yes, you know what? There's been tons of stuff that has been happening in this past week. Announcements have been made. There's been a special feature in Street Fighter 6 as well. And of course, one particular league has come to an end. But firstly, I do have to read a statement that came out from Capcom in this past week regarding the CPT finals. You might have seen it, you might have not, but here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the players and the community have been beckoning out for this. You asked, they listened. Of course, this is what Capcom have said, or the production team behind them said. But yes, attention to all Capcom Cup players and LCQ participants. In the interest of full transparency, all matches will be played on PC with the display set at 144 Hz. Best of luck to all the participants, and we look forward to seeing you in February. So yes, February is tomorrow. Could be today, wherever you are seeing us in the world. But this was a big thing for the community when we were closing in on the finals once the World Warriors were done, and they have come to the decision of making sure that everyone stays optimized, or we're all in unison, and we can have the best finals ever for the last one of SF5 and be as optimal as can be. Veggie, you are going to be there, of course. Music to your ears, I presume.
Yeah, I'm really happy that they run 144 Hz on the monitors. I remember, when we played at EVO at PlayStation 4, I feel like a lot of players couldn't really perform to what they have learned over the last few years in the online environment. because they have been playing on PC. So you didn't get to see like all the goodness, and you could see different characters were performing better than you would expect, and some characters were performing worse. So I'm glad that like the culmination of culmination. Thank you, Sir Jammers. Of the game will be on the ish type of setups that people have been using at home, so that they get to like show you what they got, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so I'm really happy.
100%.
Really happy.
Olvaha, what about you? Obviously, you're not going to be there, but of course, being part of it's like, okay, I want to watch the players perform at their best. It must be good for viewers or even people involved in the CPT as well, right?
Exactly. As an objective viewer of the game, I want everyone to do as good as they can possibly do, and obviously when you're traveling, you might come from far away. Obviously, there's like other things to take into account, jet lag, things like that. So just making things like that easier, like the game stations and such, like making them as comfortable as possible is really important and a respectable thing to do from the organizer.
And it's good as well because I think a lot of the LCQ combatants were unsure as what's going on. Of course, they already booked their flight, they weren't sure, but hey, it's all been determined now, the announcement's there, so look forward to it and keep practicing on the PC as well. Speaking of CPT finals as well, LCQ draw, that'll be something entirely separate. However, there was another announcement made on CPT, which there will be a live group drawing stage with Alex Vi and Rob TV putting that together for you. It should be happening in about 2 days from now, 2nd of February, I can't remember. We are going to get, there it is, fantastic.
Thursday.
Capcom Cup 9 group draw live event. It's going to be hosted by Alex Vi and Rob TV. Now, I'm not sure if they have disclosed any more details on how they're going to do this. My only concern is if you were to draw, for example, Ending Walker and Fulfills consecutively, you separate them. So if Ending Walker, say for example, Ending Walker goes Group A, and then you immediately draw Fulfills, you do not put him in Group A, you put his name aside, put it somewhere else. Regional seeding, for me, is a very big deal. I'm not sure, like I said, I don't know if you've seen anything, Veggie or Vaha, about them disclosing how they're doing the process, or they're just going to do it all live and explain it on the camera. But Veggie, what are you hoping for with this group drawing?
I hope, personally, like if I was to design the rules for the group draw, I would make it so that you would have in a group there could not be more than half World Warrior qualified and half Premier Event qualified players to make sure that there won't be lopsided pools. And I would just make sure that people from the same regional qualifier, like the two people from the US East, can't get in the same pool.
Yes.
I think that would be sufficient enough, because if there's no restrictions on the World Warrior versus the online Premier, you might have like a group of more or less only online Premier winners and then one with only World Warrior winners. And since the Premier win comes before the World Warrior, most places the World Warrior, the Premier player is like the better player in that region. Some region might be that close that it doesn't really matter, but in general, I think that the best player of the region qualified most likely through the first event. So if you then have 8 best players of a region and then 8 second best players, it's better to try to get 4 and 4, 4 and 4, or however they'll do it. And then that thing with the regions, so that you can have them piled up, the same people from the same region. Region is then not Europe, it's the same qualifier, like, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Olvaha, do you share the same sentiment, or have you got something different, or a different angle?
Yeah, actually, I agree with what Veggie said. I think it's actually a fantastic point that don't, pool up all the online qualifiers and World Warrior guys on the same pools. And I agree with you as well on the regional thing. I would love to see as diverse of pools as possible. I know it's like really hard with how many people there are. Like, it's impossible to make it so everyone's satisfied, obviously. But to take that into account and make it as balanced as possible, taking into account who qualified from the online qualifier or, World Warrior events, and who is from whichever region. So those are probably the only things that I would really want to
take into consideration or
take into consideration. I don't really have anything else outside that. I don't even think I'm qualified enough to say like anything outside of that. But I'm really interested in seeing how it's gonna be, and I hope to catch it live on Thursday.
Well, we will see indeed. But yes, make sure you tune in to twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters. They're probably going to archive it so you can see it on the YouTube channel as well. But it's going to be interesting, and I want everybody to know it will hit social media as soon as it is. But yes, I almost did forget. Before we move on to the next big thing, I've got to show you this, right? Because they did announce it yesterday after SFL EU was done. But this is tonight's fight card, so roll the fight card, Rich, so the people know who they're watching. We go back to the Midwest, and here are our lovable guests here tonight, Giyu and Marv. I've heard so much about these two. I've spoken to them prior to tonight's show as well, and I'm looking forward to watch them play as well as speaking them. So yes, please show some love in the chat, because you know what? If there's one area that gets an abundance of support when they come on this show, it's definitely the Midwest. People show up and they come with full rambunctious as their that community is. So I like that, full respect. So you're going to be seeing these guys. We're expecting Karen versus Jury. That's what we're told. I think it's a matchup we haven't seen in a little while. I know Rob TV and Just a Kid played it in their CPT online not too long ago. But Marv has a couple of characters under his belt. I think Giyu is strictly Jury, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
But I mean, Veggie, we looking. Think it's gonna be a close first to 10, or is there gonna be a huge margin between the two?
Matchup-wise, and my lack of knowledge though of the region depth, so I can't really say that about player versus player. But matchup-wise, I think we can expect to see a tight battle, and I'm expecting them both to be really good. But I mean, I've watched them play, but not like against each other, so you can't always judge if someone is on the same level as each other or not. So, but I think we're in for a real treat. So it's been a while since we had one of these 10-0, 10-1 types of scores.
Don't jinx it.
So,
don't jinx it.
Yeah, so I mean, it might happen today.
Knock on wood.
I'm not gonna knock on the wood, because it will be really funny if it happened when I said it, because then the jinx is proven, scientifically proven.
At least in this case.
Oh dear.
We need a larger scale.
Oh, we do need a larger.
I'm knocking on the wood now.
He does it 2 seconds. Anyway, Omar, what about you? You think it's going to be close to matchup-wise, or?
I think so. I think they have, like, obviously I'm only talking as a spectator. I think they have kind of comparable buttons. For example, they both have some strong options in the neutral, and both of them have decent movement speed and stuff like that. So there are some similarities. Of course, obviously they're different characters and they do play different in the end, but I'm expecting to see some good footsies and immaculate neutrals, so I'm looking forward to that. And also, I gotta say, like, this is not like the most, for me, it's not the most well-known region, I have to confess. So I'm always excited to see new players, and like new, or like in general players I haven't had the opportunity to catch, especially live, because obviously the time difference for these regions is sometimes it's really challenging to watch these events live, for example.
Yeah, of course. Now,
how about you, Jammers?
How about me?
That's a good question.
I have seen both of these two play in the, I think it's CPT Online premiere. Could be wrong. I believe Marv. I think Marv has spoken to either me or Veggie before. It might have been at Evo. It might have been at Evo last year. But again, these guys are like down-to-earth people. Looking forward to speaking to them. This matchup, we did see a fair bit at one point during the pandemic, but then it kind of died down. But it's obviously more jury specialist as opposed to Karen's, because it's interesting. I was talking to a player about Karen the other day, because career Kanzuki. I got told Karen players will tell you they have immaculate footsies, and they all went over to Luke. So I wonder where those footsies went, and I just couldn't stop laughing.
Went over to Luke.
I mean, can I interject?
You can.
If you're going to play if you're gonna play a high level Luke, you need to have immaculate footsies. So.
Yeah, that's true. Or you could just fling out heavy impact before the hard punch or stand fist. You could do that as well.
Stand medium
kick.
kick.
Forward heavy punish is
listen,
mad with punishable.
Listen, Veggie, now I'll tell you something you probably never heard. There's more than one path up the mountain. You heard that saying before? Huh? Yeah? You heard that one?
Actually, I haven't.
There you go.
I've heard there's more.
You won't know that joke.
I've heard
anymore,
all roads. I've heard all roads lead to Rome or something like that. Cool. That one I've heard more.
Now I'll tell you what. All roads do lead to Rome in some regard, but all matches in SFL concluded and they led to one champion. Richard, roll the graphics so that people know SFL EU is over, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
I'm actually sad. You guys should be sad as well because a lot of people enjoyed this league and they were super hyped about it because the character diversity, the personalities involved, everyone involved in that project was fantastic. The players, the commentators, Logan Summers, the host, and the production team, Webedia. Shout outs to Webedia for that. We should be getting a picture rolling up right now because it was actually next to me before we actually introduced our co-host, but it's all over the internet now. Congratulations to Team Mouse for winning the events. They are SFL EU champions, and then of course they are going to be heading to the finals and they're going to be participating or representing EU for SFL Worlds. So
That's
in that
so
time
cool.
I'm talking about it, I haven't seen a picture, so I don't know what's going on back there. Anyway,
Damn.
apparently there's no picture happening. So yes, but it's all over the internet. It was a great grand final. If you
Where's
guys,
the picture?
if you guys haven't seen the finals, it is up on YouTube. And please go and look at the trophy. I like the look of that trophy. It's amazing. I think it was. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. Give it a look. It's amazing. Oh my God! They
There
actually
it
got a
is,
picture up.
dude.
That's
That's
amazing. Right, ladies
What a
and gentlemen,
team.
that was
What a
Team
team indeed.
Mouse. There you go. 4 Phils, Shax, Problem X, and Broski representing Team UK. One of the 2 teams in the UK. They take it all the way. They take the championship home, of course. Problem X got MVP of the entire SFL, and then you can see Shax holding the trophy there. There should be other pictures on the internet to give you a more of a, not panoramic, but a different dynamic or different view of the trophy. It's fantastic to see as well. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. This team was handpicked by Problem X, and he got a bunch of character specialists here, and oh, diggity damn, did he get it right? Because this is insane. That is just exuding talent there, and it's fantastic to see. So yeah, giving them some support, and it'll be great to see. But yeah, Veggie.
You know what I want to say?
What do you say?
You know, obviously Problem X is an amazing player and he hadn't picked the team. I think that's also kind of shows that like a next level of understanding as well on the community and like it's like you could be a fantastic player but you might not necessarily have the ability to pick a balanced team, for example. So I just wanted to kind of highlight the fact that he's like very well versed outside of the game as well. In team building, for example, which in this case, it did work out fantastically.
It was a new experience for everybody, and like Veggie can tell you this from first-hand experience as well. I think, in my personal opinion, I think scouting as a whole is actually probably not respected enough. Because you really like. Obviously, some players will put themselves out there, expose themselves enough for you to see that their skills is just natural, that you want to handpick them, right? Ending Walker was at the top of everybody's list if he wasn't 16. But then there's other people, it's like, you know what? This is a team collective, this is a team effort. We need to actually pick things to balance the team out and our strategies out, just like Alvaro was alluding to. And Veggie, even you had a strong team as well, a balanced team, I think so.
Yeah, that wasn't... that was a question, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah. Okay. This was no. Sorry, no. I was watching the footage.
Yeah, you were enamored by the
sorry.
footage, I know. Great.
Yeah. I liked our team being I think the strongest 4 players in Scandinavia. So there's no complaints from me on who my teammates were. I think that the whole selection went well when it comes to like who is the players in Scandinavia who deserve to be there. So, and we're great people. We had a great time, and I think we could have that last game might not have looked like it, but playing those over and over again, who knows what would happen. But it went the way it went, and it's really cool to see Mouse representing Europe in the finals in the world, because I think all of those players on that team can do really well in that finals, and it would be really cool if they won, just for that, that Europe versus US debate that's been always raging for the last years, right? So it would be really cool if the European team took it. Well, and it's a strong team, the strongest team. So.
To be fair, I do feel any one of the 4 teams in the playoffs could have represented. Like all teams had a strong captain. You all had a wild card, and you all had like 2 solid pillars that obviously on their day they could perform as well as still as back up the other person if they didn't have or didn't get the results they wanted. I feel there was a balance with all 4. Obviously, my country, woo! we're gonna be represented. But like, all Vegas country as well, because he's just down the road from Croydon.
Oh yeah, true. You can't forget.
I feel any one of the 4 in the playoffs could have represented. And even look, do you know what? Just the last set with Mr. Crimson Problem X in the SFL finals, like that was a great way to just close out
Iconic
everything. There you go. It's like, okay, the best players in Europe, some of the best players in Europe at the time, even currently as well, duking it out in the first to 3, and they had 2 sets. It could have gone to a 3rd and final set in the finals with those guys. So it's going to be great to see how Team Mouse and what they're going to be doing, the training they're going to be putting together and practicing for the SFL finals.
And it must be nice that the finals have been broadcasted now, so they don't need to worry about like getting tricked on stream into revealing something, right? So it must feel like an extra, almost like winning again after the finals have been broadcasted.
Boulder off of your chest.
Okay, no, that's a good way of looking at it. That's a very good way of looking at it. Okay, no, that's interesting. I respect that. I like that. But
because I remember after Street Fighter League US, someone came in and tried to use like mind games to get information, like saying, "Oh wait, didn't he play in that match that hadn't been played yet?" Right. And then if I wasn't on point, I would say like, "No, that was someone else." But then I was like, "Bro, that match hasn't been shown yet. What are you trying to do?"
No, right. Let me tell you something. Right, just before because we got our guests waiting. After I mentioned this point, we're gonna get our guests in. I was streaming yesterday. And someone was I just streamed just after SFL EU was done. Guy comes in my chat and he goes, "Hey, was everything pre-recorded?" He said, "So how'd you know about this match and that match without actually telling anyone?" He was probably trying to get information out of me. And then he goes, "Oh, but a player told me this." And I was like, "What player?" And he said, "I don't want the player to get in trouble." I said, "So you're going to one of the commentators and trying to get information out of him to get him in trouble?"
Scummy.
And you know what he did? The guy didn't even answer me. He just moved and said, "Oh, nice day we're having, aren't we?" And I was like, "I know what you're doing."
Hey, what are you playing? Nice game.
Wow.
Listen, if you don't want to get one person in trouble because they're under NDA or whatever contractual
but he's trying to get
It's like, hello?
Something didn't work out here. Wow. Anyway, we can talk about that at another time. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we want to get our guests in, Giyu and Marv in here, because I'm very curious to hear more about themselves as well as the characters they play. So let me find out if both our guys are on mute so we can have a lovely chat with these guys. So let me find out. Giyu, Marv, can you guys hear me loud and clear?
Yo.
Loud and clear.
There you go. Well, gentlemen, first of all, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us on the show. Really appreciate that. So for this first part of the show with you guys, just get a pre-match interview to get the blood boiling, know more about yourselves, and find out who really hates Luke and who doesn't. Stuff.
Oh, you can just stop there. It's me.
Just found the hater.
Marv, but the road from Karin to Luke is not long. As he's saying in the FGC.
You talked about cake earlier. It was a cakewalk for me. I was having fun.
Perfect.
Don't worry.
Oh, wow. I'm speechless.
We'll get onto the Luke discussion very shortly, but first I got to give you my opening question. I always like hearing the background behind these, but yeah, I always like to ask my guests the origin of their name. I don't care how simple or complex it may be, but Marv, talk to me first. Where does the name Marv come from?
You really gotta ask.
I gotta ask, baby, because listen, there could be some deep meaning from the 18th century that you haven't told me about.
Yeah, so pretty much I'm into sports, so I was naming myself after players from my favorite teams because I'm a big Mavericks fan and I'm a Stars fan. So I would just name a player from the team, and I was like, man, it's kind of weird, So Nigel, y'all know Nigel, right? Y'all heard of Nigel.
Yeah.
So Nigel, his name is just Nigel, So I'm like, let me just go for a different approach. My name is Marvin, so I'll just I might just say Marv. So it's just short, simple, just Marv.
I do a lot of people refer to you, like your real life friends, do they call you Marv or just go, yo, Marvin, like, what's up? You're capping, Marv.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's another reason too. They was just like, yo, Marv, people, they come over house, play sets, they're just like, yo, Marv, can I use the restroom? I'm like, yeah.
Okay, fair. All right, listen, even if it's as simple as that, that could have been a completely 360 and then it could have meant something else.
Yeah.
I remember we had, who did we have? We had someone from the East Coast called Ultimate Weapon. And it sounded like, okay, you can't be the Ultimate Weapon. I know you're a hidden gem in your scene, but there must be more to it. And then little did I know, he told me his name was from Final Fantasy, but someone took his name. It's simple as that. We've had, I don't know if you've seen the streamer Muscle Noob, the Ken player. He goes,
Yeah.
right. He said his name comes from a Counter-Strike player called himself Fat Noob, and he goes, well, I've got muscle, and I'll just take his name. I just like the origins of people's names. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
But Giyu, what about you? Where does Giyu come from?
Well, it's actually pretty simple. At first, I'll say for a while, I went off of my actual name, which is Myron, and so friends would tell me like, yeah, I mean, you got to come up with something else.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't mad at them because I was by default, like on PlayStation 3 days, Myron 28. That was it. That's all you get. Okay.
I mean, I'll take it. That sounds like a generic Call of Duty name. I'll take it.
Right. Absolutely. So I was like, it's not a big deal. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? And so later, once Demon Slayer came out, if you guys are familiar with that anime.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so
go on.
Giyu Tamioka, he was just the coolest thing. And so cool, collected, didn't show too much more. I was like, you know what? That's it. It just resonated with me.
So you must have had this name from when? 2017 or later than that?
Wow. Well, no. So I changed this. I want to say I changed this in I want to say it was 2020.
Oh, so this was like recent.
This was recent. Yeah, I actually started really labbing the game, because I was like, you know what? Let me actually put some effort into this, and so. But I can't keep the same name. It's got to change.
Okay,
so that's when it happened.
Do you know what? Because I'm gonna be real honest with you. I thought you called yourself Ginyu, but you missed out the N from Dragon Ball Ginyu Force.
So let's talk about that. That's a great point. That's a great point. Let's talk about it. So when I first, I think I entered. When I started competing online, actually competing online was actually 2021, the beginning of 2021.
Okay.
And I went into a tournament called Full Bar Friday. Shout outs to Maticus and the Full Bar Friday crew. And one of the commentators, Thirst God, and I think it was Thirst God who said he would call me Ginyu.
Right.
And because he thought the same thing. And so then I ended up getting Ginyu, and then there's Giyu. And so, because everybody says it a little bit different, though. And I'm just all of them are, I'm like, you know what? All of them are correct.
Wait, are you one of those people who don't mind if there's 7 variations to your name as long as you spell it correctly?
You know what? That's all that matters. That's all I'm saying.
Chatted mentality.
Okay, no, fair. Do you know what? Fair play, because I like that there's an origin to it. I honestly, I totally forgot about the character in Demon Slayer Ginyu. But I was just like, oh, did he spell the Ginyu Force wrong? That's what I thought. But and he just rolled with it, or someone must have slipped up and said, I'll just take it anyway. But do you know what? That's great to hear as well. Fantastic. I like when people, because we had who did we have before from Bleach? Espada. Shouts to Espada. We had him on. That was an anime name from Bleach as well. So we've had a lot of people come on the show for this. Now, you mentioned taking this game seriously, or you started seriously competing last year. So have you been playing Street Fighter V since its inception, or did you start playing from 2020?
So I started. Well, I was very casual when the game first came out, and because I played Street Fighter 4 casually, so I was just really casual. I was too busy working, going to school. There was a lot going on at that time, so I was focused on other things. And so when I actually started grinding the game, I just randomly decided one day, I was like, you know what, actually let me try to really learn this character. I just, let me get to a certain, because I was always like going between, it took me months to get from ultra platinum to diamond, and I just stayed at diamond to super diamond, and that was it.
And you felt you stagnated. You're like, hold on, something's not right. I want to do better, sort of thing.
Yeah, and that was it. That's all that changed.
Oh, okay. Because
sorry.
No, please.
I was just wondering, what kind of things do you feel like clicked for you to get over? And now I can see Warlord. Like, what were you know what it was, or
because that's a big jump. Because just before you answer that, Giyu, we had someone on last week. He only started competing at the start of last year. And
I saw that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, hang on. Some people can't even get this in the span of 2 years. How on earth have you gone from not knowing how to do an ABC combo and you're like Warlord, or you're about to compete for the cup? How do you do that in such a short space of time?
Yeah, and so I've always been around a really, for one, I've always been that. So when I was introduced to FGC, I always got to tell this because it's relevant.
Please.
The guy that brought me into everything was actually Dr. African.
Hey.
And so we went to the same college together. And so he brought me into the DFW FGC, and I got to meet, like Marv and GOL Toy, a lot of great players, a lot of great people. And so that was my first experience there. So I've always been around these strong group of players, but I just never put in the time. And so when I actually started putting in the time, I will always recall on what they would say to me, or like what Doctor would just be chanting in my ear, like, "Oh yeah, you can't do that. That's not real. That's not and then and then the frame data." And so I learned frame data, and I never knew about frame data ever before. And so once I got into that aspect, and then saw how the math was involved, and what neutral was, what the anti-air is a different way you can anti-air with DP, and it just, everything was like, oh, because I've been playing fight games forever, but I just never realized that it went that deep.
Okay, so I want to continue on that discussion. What do you think was the hardest part for you to learn? Like, it could be a concept or anything specific, like to the smallest little detail.
I think the hardest thing was to, I mean, there's a few. That's actually a great question. It's a few things, but I think my biggest thing was getting rid of bad habits.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because I was used to playing like just, let me do this, and then sweep. Here we go, jump in, jump back, oh, get sweep.
No, do you know what? Sorry, sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no, you're okay.
I think the interesting thing about fighting games is, I don't know about people at home, I don't know about you guys here, everyone here in this call as well. Not many times in life does somebody tell you about your bad habits. I don't think they tell you, and it's more because
That's a good point.
as time goes on, people are trying to remove the opposing opinion. So, Giyu, if I met you in person, I noticed something you're doing bad, I wouldn't necessarily be allowed to tell you it directly. I'd have to sugarcoat it or tell you in a positive manner. I don't tell you it's a bad habit. In fighting games, you do it, we're playing a game, you're losing, and someone goes, oh, this is a bad habit you have, please stop doing this. But then, if they tell you, don't, like Dr. African said, he's doing it in the kind of militant sergeant way. They're just like, stop doing that, that's not real. And it's like, okay, he's putting it in the most direct way ever. That must mean it's a bad habit. It's kind of, you have to tell yourself it's a bad habit, not the other guy. But at least from what I noticed with just people in general, you don't walk around saying, oh, that's a bad habit of yours. You don't say that. So I think that's kind of what's the fascination for fighting games for a lot of us anyway. So, I have to get rid of my bad habits now? Did I have bad habits in the first place? Like, what? Like,
But that's interesting, because that the same thing that will happen in reality, where people, like, if you tell someone their bad habit, and they'll be like, they'll be turning around or defensive about it. It does happen a lot in fighting games.
It was just this once, bro. I never do this otherwise.
Someone asks you, they ask you for advice, maybe. They might even ask you, and you tell them something, and they'll defend it, and it's be like, okay, but this is what I'm seeing, and I think this is bad, and they'll be like, yeah, but I did it because, and then you get stuck in this loop of
Biggie, but I didn't sleep well last night, so can't blame me.
Anyway, no, this is brilliant. I love how that conversation's did so. No, Giyu, you're a great person. I love you. Anyway, Marv. Now, Marv, you've told me your roster is Karen, Luke, and Akira. So I've just come to this deduction. You just love characters that are purely based on strike throw. Is that a fair assessment of you? Do you like characters like that, or is there something more you like to look for in a character?
Yeah, I would say so. Good at counter poking as well. So yeah, strike throw is probably the good assessment to say the kind of characters I like to play.
Okay, now my next interesting question is, how did we go from Karen to Akira, then Luke? Because Akira did come out before Luke. How did we go around that circle?
Okay, so I started playing the demo a long time ago, and I didn't know who to play. I was playing Ken, Ryu, everyone else, and I don't know what it was, but when I saw Karen and I saw her records, I thought that was cool. So I'm like, this character looks cool. I'm gonna play her. So as I continued playing her, I just started learning more, like how to do low forward confirms, how strong it was, how good a stand medium kick button was. Like, cause I like Myron or Giyu, I didn't know anything about Street Fighter. Street Fighter was my first fighting game I ever took competitively.
Okay.
So as he said, that's when I started meeting people like Doc, like Wally, Espada. Just a lot of other people that grew up playing like Street Fighter 4, and so they told me more about how Karen works, and then I started to learn she's a strong character. So it went from that, and I just got better just by going to locals every week, like getting my butt kicked. Like I would get my butt kicked, and I would just laugh about it because I'm just trying to have fun at the same time, you know. So that's how it kind of transpired with Karen. I started playing with a couple other characters, like I started playing Rashid too and stuff like that, but I realized that Karen was kind of like my strongest character, and I couldn't really get the mojo with the other characters. So when Akira came out, I thought Akira was cool too. You know, I thought the little elbow thing she did was cool, like the EX version, like a V trigger. She called him her brother because I got a brother myself, so I'm just thinking my brother finna come help me fight and stuff like that. So I just thought that was cool, and I'm like, this character is sick. And it was so funny because while I thought she was so cool, everybody else hated me playing her. Like, they hated her because they just complained about her stand heavy kick, her buttons are random, this character's YOLO, and I'm just having fun, just cooking them. So, and then it got to Luke. So, interesting story about how I got to Luke. I just got tired of Luke. And I'm like, you know, because if you don't know, I think Luke destroys Akira. Like, I don't like that matchup at all.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? You can't beat him, join him. You know? Yeah. So I just picked him up. And I think of myself as like a kind of like a solid style kind of play. Like, I'm not too crazy. I don't do that. And I think Luke complements every kind of style of play. So I'm just thinking any good player can just pick him up and just probably be like kind of a threat. So I was like, oh, well, let me just try him out. And like I told y'all earlier, I was having so much fun playing that character. I was just laughing. Like, I was just laughing. Like, I'm fighting, like, Poison. And it's like, it's when you use your V-trigger, and I got my V-trigger, I just backdash, activate, just start laughing. Like, what are you going to do? Like, jump? Okay. I'm going to anti-air you. So that's how I got to Luke. So. Yeah. Okay.
I know you haven't been playing Luke as long as you have been playing Karen, but obviously your knowledge, you know, accumulated over the years is probably like kind of it showcases more through Luke, maybe more of your Karen. Who do you think's been your most successful character through competitive play? Because if I'm not mistaken, you were in the top 16 of the CPT Midwest earlier this year that Just a Kid won, and I think you just missed out on the World Warrior regional finals. Am I right in saying that, Marv?
Yeah, you missed. I think of the first one. I can't remember how far I got in the first one, Just a Kid one, but I remember I made grand finals in the second one against Magnegro. I fought this birdie. That wasn't a lot of fun. But I think after that, I think I got top 16 more times, and I think I missed the last one. So that kind of knocked me out because I missed the last one. I was a little upset because I felt like I could have made it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, Marv, let me ask you this. I can transition over to Giyu as well, because Marv, at least from the results I've seen, you're outside of the cusp of the most important part of a bracket. So you're 9th, but you want to be in the top 8. You're in the grand finals, but you don't get the win. What do you feel is missing? Because you're playing this solid style, you like your strike throw game. I feel everything's there, but you're missing one piece of the jigsaw. Do you know what it is, or are you still trying to find out what that is?
Yeah, I kind of got an idea of what it is. And to answer your other question earlier, Karen is probably the character I have most success. Luke is Akira is probably runner-up. But I think, like I've been telling Doc and Myron and everyone else, I think I'm just missing experience because I haven't went to a whole lot of offline events, you know? So that's why I'm trying to go to LCQ. And I'm not really worried about winning, but I'm running just get the offline experience, you know? Because I used to watch like Doc and Nigel go out to tournaments and they'll do so good. And it's like, man, I know I'm a good player. I need to get out, you know, just travel, you know?
No,
So I just try to talk to people. Go ahead. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
I like the fact that you said, I just need to go out and like you have that kind of self affirmation. It's like, I'm nice. I know I'm nice. I just need to go out and prove that. Listen, some people listen. I don't know if you watched the SFL EU finals last night, but some players on there, they'll tell you they're a good game and they start wiping their forward because they're sweating. I was like, dude, your body language is completely opposite what's coming out your mouth. You can't. This don't work. This doesn't correlate. But I like the fact that at least you're being what's the word I'm looking for? Proactive about it. Like the enthusiasm, the fire's there. You just need to be given the opportunity to do so. Kind of the platform. Am I right in saying that, Marv?
Yeah, you're right. And I also, like, that's another reason why I'm so grateful to be on sets, because I feel like I didn't get my name out good enough. You know, like, I don't stream much. You know, people know who I am, but nobody really actually knew me and the kind of player I was. So that's another reason I'm grateful to be on here. So, yeah. But, yeah, you got most of that, right?
Okay. Now, let me ask you this, because I don't stream much myself. Why don't you stream a lot? Is it because of real life? Or is it because it's something that's not for you? Because Twitch isn't for everybody. This is something people misunderstand. Streaming is not for everybody. What do you think it is, Marv?
So for me, I think I need to. It can be time consuming, and it's like a lot of things I want to do throughout the day. But I look at that as kind of an excuse, you know. If I really wanted to do it, I'd make time for it, you know. But it could be a little time consuming for me, and it's like I don't got my days. Like something could happen the next day, and I don't get a chance to stream or something like that. So I just lose consistency. But I think if I can just find a consistent way to do it, and I think I could actually get into it.
Okay, so, fair enough. You know, I love how candid you are. Honestly, I like that you know this and you know the answer. You have a clear idea what it is, and you know what direction to move into. Because some people do not kind of have that mindset or that attitude going towards certain things. Let me ask this question to Giyu.
Can I just follow up on that one?
Please, go for it.
What do you feel is so different from just playing and streaming? Like, you are definitely getting hours into the game. What makes it harder to get just whenever you play, you can just stream? Do you feel like there's why is there what makes it,
let me counter that question. Do you think when you stream that you should probably stream for long hours, short hours, or how long do you think it's like a normal rate of streaming?
Okay.
Because for me, I like a couple months ago, I just switched to Hitbox, and it's like when I work OT at my job, so it's like I just want to try to work on my hitbox execution, and I just want to like play for a little while at least. So sometimes I play an hour a day, sometimes just like 45 minutes going to training mode, stuff like that. What would you think for streaming? What would you think would be like a good time to stream? Like how long?
I think I think it's a hard question because if
you say 45 minutes, but it's just turned 10 people show up and they're gone.
Yeah, but in general, like some people want to be like the biggest streamer, like they want to be a huge streamer. So I'm guessing they have to put in mad hours.
Yeah.
But maybe you just want to connect with the people that you like to play with or hang with or feel related to in the FGC. So you just turn on the stream. But of course, I understand it. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just asking why you feel like you can't stream even if you play short time. Sometimes I get on Friday night because I'm home alone and I'm like or I'm sleeping.
You're there
and
for an hour or two,
and I'm just streaming for 45 minutes, an hour, just because I want to connect with the guys or the people in the FGC. So, but I think it depends.
It's a good question.
I think he's actually a good advocate for that, so he speaks from experience because he has done those like 45 to 1 hour streams.
I mean,
I think the goal is what the goal is probably if you want to be a big streamer, then that's definitely not enough. But if you want to just keep on like connecting slowly with people, I think short streams can work too. But I'm not an expert, of course.
Listen,
I understand.
You don't have to be an expert, but that's from first-hand experience, and experience is the best teacher. That's only the angle you're talking from, so that's completely fine. Right, Giyu, I need to ask you one more thing before I ask you the guys a final question before we go into break. So, Giyu, obviously you've made or you developed as a player in a very short amount of time as well, but I've seen you perform. But you haven't got the results probably you'd like to, because I think, if I'm not mistaken as well, in the World Warrior leaderboards, you missed out on the regional final as well because you came 13th or something, so you weren't that far off from making the top 8. I don't think you made it as far as you wanted to in the Midwest Premiere event. I could be mistaken if I'm wrong there. But what do you feel you're missing to kind of get into, like, you know, the top 4s or winning these big events? Do you know what it is? Do you have a clear idea of what you're missing?
With the World Warrior in particular, I believe I missed 2 events.
Okay.
I think I missed 2, and I remember one day in particular. I made all of this planning because I was going to DreamHack in Dallas to compete in that tournament, and so but before that tournament started, that was like later that night. In the afternoon, the World Warriors started, and so I called a cafe that had the game, and they said they had it installed. I was like, okay, well, you know what? Because I didn't have anything, on me or with me, and so I went to the cafe and and I asked them. I'm like, okay, yeah, you guys got Street Fighter 5 and the latest deal installed, right? So I could just log in and play. And they're like, yeah, go ahead, just it's already ready. I was like, okay, great. And then when I got to the PC, it was not installed.
Oh, they one of them ones. Oh no.
Yeah, so I missed out that one, and then the other one I missed out on. I just overslept. That's all. That's it.
Listen, if there's anything I can tell you is you definitely need to form some better disciplines because the last thing you want is Giyu, why aren't you in the regional finals? Oh, I overslept.
I know. That one hurt my soul.
All right, let me ask you this because I already know the answer, but indulge me. Answer me this: would you oversleep for your flight with the LCQ?
No.
Why?
Because I have learned from those 2 missed times of the World Warriors. So this one, I literally schedule everything on my calendar and my phone.
Okay.
Anything FGC related, I schedule it now. So because that one hurt my soul.
That's good.
That one hurt my soul.
No, fair.
New Year's resolution.
I was waiting for him to say because I paid
still
for
January.
everything. No, I was waiting for him to say because I paid for everything. That's why I'm not missing.
Well, that too. Sure. Yeah. No. That makes sense. Sure. Yeah. That's probably the most important. Yeah.
Okay. No, because I know I've spoken to Veggie about this before, but we have seen a lot of differences between how people take online tournaments seriously as opposed to if they had to fly somewhere and take it seriously. And it's like trying to find that balance, take them both, because I know the environments are different, but if it's leading to the same goal, you kind of got to treat them similarly. I know waking up in your bed and then your PC's just there as opposed to, got to get to the airport 3 hours beforehand, we'll go check in, get the passport. Like, obviously, it's a different process, but yeah, right, okay. We got time for one last question. I like asking this because I know everyone gets surprised. They're like, really, did you ask me that question? I said, I did. So,
yes, please.
This question I asked before the break, and I'm going to ask it to Marv first. Marv, in your personal opinion, who's the best character in Street Fighter 5 right now, in your opinion?
Can I give you 2?
No, there's only one. You got to pick
Just
one. There's a top 3, but you got to give me one.
Okay. I gotta go with Luke. I think it's Luke.
Any particular reason, or is it just like he just ticks all the boxes?
Yeah, he just kind of checks everything off for me. I don't really see a lot of weaknesses. I mean, some matchups may be annoying, but I don't see like him actually like struggling, getting his butt kicked like bad by any of the other cast. I think I was gonna say it's either Luke or maybe Chun.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe Chun.
Veggie raised an eyebrow, but
Yeah.
okay, all right. We've rarely heard Chun being the best in the game, but
We heard it from some of the French players once. Right?
no, yeah, that's why I said rarely. It's not that we haven't heard it. I've rarely heard it. Remember, there was one person who said Zeku, and I was like, yeah, you are definitely barking up the wrong tree.
Angie.
and G as well. I won't forget that one. Shout out to
That's
Chun.
my favorite.
But yes,
know.
Giyu, what about you? Who do you think the best character in Street Fighter 5 is?
I'm actually. It's rougher. It's rough in my opinion with this. I'm gonna say Dawson, but let me explain.
I mean, go for it. There's somebody
we're on your side, but you can.
On your.
Right. Why do you think Dawson's the best in the game?
I think for me, well, certainly for me specifically, right? Because Jury.
Yeah.
With Jury, I can get around Luke. I can get around Luke with his fireball, especially when I have CA at meter. But with Dawson, he just has ways out of things, and then he doesn't have to play neutral. Okay, so I had a long me and Dr. African had a long conversation about this, and the defensive options that Dawson has that he can do at will, it's absurd.
Oh, wait. Do you think he can do them at will?
Yes.
Oh.
Because he's
talk to me.
He's the only one that has a mix-up defense. So let's say if I go for throw.
Yeah.
What if you guys got hit with?
Right, Gale. But
TK Gale.
No, but is doing TK Gale as a defensive option, is that at will? That's a defensive option. I don't know if that's at will though.
Yeah, that's at will.
Well, no, maybe not. Okay, maybe not at will. That might be a little bit too. But
Dawson wills it.
Right. But I think that the fact that you throw Gale in there with V-shift.
Yes.
And okay, then he blocks. You know, and still to include V-reversal if he needs.
Yeah.
Gives him a mix-up of defense.
Yeah, it almost makes it feel untouchable. When you knock him down, you're like, hang on, I can't actually do anything to you. Is that what it feels like to you?
That's what it feels like. Because I'm making a choice on on what I'm going to sacrifice. To try to keep pressure. As we know, it's better if we keep pressure on Dawson. But since Dawson knows that, and he has the extra defensive option with Gale, you have to account for it, because if you don't, and you can smoke Dawson, but he can smoke you too, and it's just always going to be like that. It's always going to be like that. So it's rough.
No, do you know what? I like it. Don't feel this like, damn, I'm in the confession booth and I'm going to say something I shouldn't say. Listen, if you
It's okay, you can speak here.
We're
among friends here.
Yeah, listen.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space.
It's interesting hearing the different angles as to why people think said character is the best in the game. Let me revert back quickly. Marv, why did you put Chun-Li, or did you potentially put Chun-Li as the best in the game? I'm kind of curious, real quick.
Well, Chun-Li just has like kind of the full package. Like for me, I'm a big guy on neutral, so she's really strong in the neutral. She has a fireball to complement that. I would say she has anti-airs. You kind of got to be on point to use them. Like for far away jumps, stand heavy kick. For close jumps, back heavy kick. I think the neutral's strong. She has a good dash. Her walk speed is okay. I think Chun. I don't really see characters that like do really good against her, Like I know Dawson. Other than Dawson, Dawson might give her a hard time. But I do think the matchup spread for Chun is not really necessarily weak. I think she can do fight most of the cast pretty well. It was say her or Dawson. I was gonna say Dawson, but I thought about Chun. I'm like, huh. I saw a post. The other day, and I was like, "Yo, I've been saying that for a long time." Who is Chun? You said what?
Who made that post? Because
I forgot who
someone who's been on I know someone who has been on like an anti-Chun crusade lately on Twitter. So I was just wondering if that was that player.
It can't be as big as your crusade. I can tell you that much.
Chun.
I don't have a Chun crusade.
No, you have a Dawson crusade, and that is a huge shit.
Like 12 years, yeah. But so Marv, when Jammer said I raised my eyebrows, since you might not have seen it, it was not because the Chun pick was so bad, but because I was just waiting to hear Dawson, and then I was like, whoa, you surprised me. So I hope I didn't secondhand offend you.
No, good.
Anyway, right, gentlemen, because we can continue this conversation forever, because I love talking to you guys. But yes, we're just about out of time, so we got to go for a break. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and in that time, I'm going to make sure we get Marv and Giyu in this lobby, setting up for that first to 10. So ladies and gentlemen, get your snacks ready, get your drinks. So when we come back, we're going to get a Midwest first to 10. See you in a bit.
You'll go fire.
In a bit, yeah.
It's been my honor to guide you through this journey over the last 16 weeks of Street Fighter League Pro Europe. We have got two of the most consistent teams throughout the season, BMS and Mouse Sports. Today is a new day. It's Grand Finals time. It's going to be Problem X from Mouse Sports with M. Bison up against Giyu for BMS with Karin. Let's throw it over. Is it going to change this time, guys?
All right, here we go. Oh, gets an opening though, and he's in the corner now. That block was so good from Giyu. It's turned everything around.
Just blocking it out here at the moment. Problem X. One knee press or something to get out of there. Watch out. Watch out. Yeah, he's got it.
Out.
He's in his edge.
He went in and then V-shifted on Gi유's wake up. Problem now starting to pull away. Can Giyu make the adjustment? Can't put it. Oh my god, I was just seeing that.
Plus.
The V-skill, first time he's used it.
Watch out for the Gorenken. Gorenken's a huge threat here.
Oh my goodness, they're taking it, Team Mouse, in an absolutely clutch first set of have gone 1-0 up here. The first set has gone to Team Mouse, and it couldn't be any more nail-bitingly closer, Jammers.
It's Mouse Sports, but it has all come down to this. They are fighting for survival now, BMS, because if they lose this second set, that is it. It's best 2 out of 3, and Mouse Sports will take it. Let's go on with this one. It is going to be BMS kills you, and it is going to be the 4 fills for Mouse Sports. Set number 2. Game number 1.
Just wait. That third one isn't coming to bait. That's done. That's done.
Is he going to have enough? Oh, what was that? Oh, no!
F-word.
You're kidding me.
Can he make amends?
Not like this.
One hit.
Gets out of the corner. That's a massive escape. Oh, trade. Yes, he's going to do it surely now. Humongous win for Kills You and Team BMS despite the technical error. BMS on the way to getting this one back. They're 1 set down, but they're 1 game up, Jammers.
And it's all put down to the captains of each team.
Oh, this is exciting.
First and second place on the
This is
leaderboard.
exciting. What could be the final game of the Street Fighter League EU 2022 season? Logan, take it away.
Rebel Kumite London champion, Rebel Kumite Vegas champion. This is going to be my favourite set of the season without a doubt, and it's here in the grand finals. Let's get set up. It is going to be BMS, Mr. Crimson, Dalsim against Mouse Sports, Problem X with M. Bison to F-Word and Jammers. Game 3, let's go.
Gourmet G. Yes! Finally! Runs away. He's got the CA there. Can get some kind of opening. EX is used. Oh my god, they're everywhere.
Punish!
What was that? Mistake from Mr. Crimson. The slide costs him that round and costs him the 3rd game. Problem X takes the lead 2-1. He is at tournament game, Jammers.
To be
Takes this down. This is a terrible situation. It's tournament point for Problem X and Team Mouse. Are they going to take this Street Fighter League season?
Bait the V-shift.
Big slide, he gets it again. The meaty. Mr. Crimson needs a miracle right now. Catches him trying to run away. Where are you going? No escape.
Hang on a minute. He's still a mix-up. It's still a mix-up.
Oh my goodness, he stayed in front by him. This.
Oh, no V reversal because he can't.
Oh, he got
Cross
slide.
up. Watch out for the cross up.
Oh, 1 more hit. Mr. Crimson needs a miracle.
If he presses a button, that's it.
That's boss. Oh, come on, Team Mouse. Oh, your Street Fighter League 2022 Pro EU champions. They've won the 60,000 euros. They will be representing at the World Championships against Team USA and Team Japan. Problem X versus Mr. Crimson delivered like it always does. What an incredible team, what an incredible match. Jammers, oh, I don't know what else to say.
Dude, it's such an moment, absolute elation for Team Mouse.
Wow.
Team Mouse are your Street Fighter League Pro Europe 2022 champions.
I feel really good. My team did amazing throughout the whole league.
Let's make some noise. Hold that up.
Welcome back to Capcom Fighters here on Twitch. It's Sets the Tuesday show. Tonight we got an all Midwest affair. Vicky, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm excited to see this because you know how it is. You know how Giyu uses. She has great neutral. Karin has great neutral.
Stand medium kick.
Yeah. The big difference is like Giyu has that fireball thing and it's kind of quick, but Karin has that big reaction with the EX10 call, which is not too easy to do to Jiyu's fireball, but it's like you can let quite a few of those fireballs go, and then if you get that one payoff, you kind of make it back for it. So I think it will just come down to who places the best buttons between these two, and I just love watching button focused matchups. So I'm really excited to see what we're gonna have.
Same to be honest.
I mean, they're mid-best, yeah. Mid-best also sounds like the middle part of the best. Have you heard about that? Have you heard that before? Like the saying mid-best.
Anyway, Alvaha, let's just continue our day there. Great, dad jokes.
Yeah,
he's getting there.
Ignore him.
Anyway, we're going to have a good time. Thank you very much. If you are just tuning in, we are just about to get this set locked and loaded in. Again, there is Giyu with the jury. He's one of the juries I've heard. He's been spoken highly of, and he's using Mecha Jury as well. I hope they give her a Mecha. Do you know what? I hope they bring back the robot theme in SF6.
Yeah, those are like one of my favorite costumes.
Yeah.
No, but I want them to like give the whole cast robotic things.
Oh, Jury's one is like one of the best for sure.
Oh, now, it's been a while since I've seen this matchup. CPTs,
for sure.
Regular exhibitions, you name it. And of course, Giyu did say to us before, he actually uses Feng Shui Engine Beta, V-Trigger 2, to steal the meter. I think that'd be very good in terms of Life with Punish there with the V-Skill. That'd be good in terms of stealing it so EX Tenko or EX Orochi doesn't be good from post-stun. But they fixed that V-Trigger over the years, because at the start, it kind of didn't fit the bill.
Sweet. Ooh, nice. I would imagine like Giyu has some great punishes to that sweep when it's not a V-Trigger cancel. Something we might get to see later on in the set.
Some big crush counters already in this round for Marv.
Ah, good. And that's a good activation. Okay, that's a light activation that's probably slept or not spoken about enough, because one of the things that's been a talk of the town as opposed to the last competitive season has been light activation. Cody, Luke.
Crouch light kick.
Yeah. Even that one there looked pretty good.
And Colleen standing light kick as well, just last week.
Yeah, and that one I still find a little bit interesting because I feel like it's, we're not watching Colleen now, so it's not really...
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah,
he's dead.
He's definitely dead.
Nice work. Finishing the play with the meter as well. No room for playing around.
It's like we haven't seen Karin that much for a long time, but she still does the Karin things right. With the big damage, the great control, the whiff punishes, the confirm. It's just not that common to see anymore.
Well, which is why when I was saying to you guys before, it's when I was speaking to someone, they said, well, everyone that said they were like brilliant with the character, why did you leave her? Because there's more firepower. It's not necessarily terrible. It says better.
And now you have to be a little more careful about using crashing medium kick, for example. You can just throw it out willy-nilly. So
pressure being applied here. I like the patience from Marv. He's just walking. Yeah, he knows in the corner, but he's walking. Nice. Can he confirm as well? And he goes for the pencil.
Wow. Oh, I love the corner carry as well. Like really nice conscious decision by Marv.
Good tech there from Giyu. Bit risky, but
oh, okay.
Yes, it restands you all the time.
Yeah, that's the restand. And getting into the corner all the way while draining the meter from.
Yeah, but my biggest concern about that trigger, hold on, let's see how this round pans out and I'll finish my explanation. Good jab. I don't think if he's going to chip him, he done it out of respect. No, okay, he got the trade. Yeah, my biggest concern about this V-trigger has always been you steal it on block or on hit, but when you hit the opponent or do stuff, you're giving the meter anyway. So there's a clash going on.
Yeah, that's true. It's like a ±0 kind
Yo,
of thing.
he gets the throw? Okay, big read. Right? That was a very big read to get the throw.
Already, yeah.
Do you know what
the first game
that one starts to be throw invulnerable?
I think it's frame 3, right? The light one.
Okay, so it couldn't have been like a delay OS thing then. If
no, hold on, let me double check. It was the grounded one, wasn't it? Let me see.
Yeah, it was the ground
throw from Marv as we speak.
We punish.
That was a sick confirm on the standing medium punch.
When the delay with the forward throw, and I really like that because you
once again a light activation.
Finish the cooking first.
Nah, he's not dead because too much scaling.
Definitely not.
Hold on, he's cooking.
Tech was trying to get that shimmy, no shimmy loud.
Do you know what? Okay, closes that out of the roundhouse. I don't know. I'm going to ask you if he's doing this intentionally. He walks into a range where he has to like block a button, but you're in the aura of the beta, the V trigger, so you can still meter while they're trying to figure out what to do next. I guess if you use that, yeah, there's not necessarily damage over time, but you're kind of draining the meter. Interesting tactic. I'm not sure if he's doing that intentionally, but if he is, kudos to you. That was pretty smart. Let me find this.
But I do agree with the fact that it's kind of controversial in the fact that you're giving your opponent meter as you're hitting them.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that aspect point of view.
Veggie, it's frame 1.
Okay, so we can actually delay, like do a delay OS timing maybe. I gotta ask about that.
Yeah,
if that's something he's doing, because that's actually sick.
It's frame 1 to 8. It's throw invincible.
Dude, what's the name of the move?
Light Tensum, the grounded one. Alright, there we go. Get the staggered pressure going. Game 1 goes to Giyu, and again, already in this first game, they've actually shown us a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 2 prize meaning. He's kind of trickier to confirm than for jury, so it's not something you might have every time. Definitely doable though, so we'll see more of those EX confirms from that cross meaning as time goes on for Giyu.
Yeah, just as Jammer said, like they've shown already so much, and just goes to show how high level the set is right now.
Charges up with the V skill 1. And he tried to go for a shimmy, not bad. But again, as Marv waits, he's losing meter.
Marv as well. Ooh, nice punish.
Yeah.
He was ready for that. Oh. Let's challenge. Go. Yeah.
Here comes the activation. Actually challenges the shimmy walk back with the jab, or maybe it was a bait for the.
Do you know if he buffers
Marv?
If he buffers crouch medium punch here, Giyu, I think that'll do the trick. Never mind, he buffers stab medium punch.
Still needs another one though.
Oh,
the shimmy finally. Beautiful stuff from Marv there. You know, one thing I wanted to say earlier, Marv did delay throw, or delay tech against Giyu, baiting DP in the corner, but instead of back throwing and getting Giyu out, he actually intentionally delay threw while releasing his stick, which I think is really good, because a lot of players just will throw you out of the corner when they're doing that. So that's really optimal stuff.
Those standing medium punches have been pretty ridiculous from Marv.
Alright, gonna try to go for a back throw there, but good tech from Marv. Air to air from Marv again, and the throw tech from Giyu. These guys are exchanging blows.
I like the challenge from Giyu this time. I also like how he tried to use the Fuhaji to build space from, you know, after getting into the corner. Just trying to push himself out.
Man, these guys have got that patience. I can see it here already.
And I think it's really cool to see someone utilize the lesser used option of the character and still show that it's strong.
Nice.
Beautiful confirm.
Yo!
I'm not sure about that though. He's gonna get the win anyway. Yeah, he's gonna get the win anyway. It's fine. He's already in the corner. Wanted to maximize the damage, get that Oki situation, because that's not a cinematic super. Doesn't put you anywhere specifically on the screen. But he's still able to get it. I do want to see if Marv will do an EX Tenko against a Fireball soon. If he's at that range. I know he can do it. Good reversal.
For that, you're gonna see an EX percent.
Oh, the bait!
Oh, but he already committed to the shimmy.
Yeah, and the thing is, he knew it.
Beautiful though. Nice. And it's so cool to look at how the bar like depletes when this thing.
Yeah.
It's just like going down there.
Yeah, trust me.
And that might be a good thing.
That's actually good.
Irene, who kills you with like that.
Now,
Super
trust
at the
me,
end,
this V trigger used to be next to horrendous before.
Yeah, it used to be, yeah, doo-doo.
Sorry, it went through some work. It went through some works over the years, so I think it's pretty decent now. But I'm no jury specialist, so we're definitely gonna have to ask Giyu about it.
Yeah, it's still niche compared to the firepower you get from V-Trigger 1, like in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I guess it also depends on like how you want to play, but you're probably right about this overall, objectively, the strength of the V-Trigger. But just nice.
Buffer. Yeah, that's a good
definitely
idea, but I think it
big
was,
damage from Marv. Tries to shimmy again. Giyu not having it.
Yo, the sweep.
Good throw tech.
Oh,
that activation
no,
is actually
that's good. No, because on block, that's a +1 or +2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it pulled her in.
Wow.
Had to take the mix-up. Meter was draining.
Hang on a minute.
That was smart, actually making it ambiguous, as he's always been using that for like a confirmed hit.
But it is a hit. But it is a 5-frame startup, right? So maybe you could have pressed the stand medium punch or crouch medium punch and got a counter.
No, because I think the hurtbox on that. I think it's
gone.
Yeah, I think so. I can't quite remember. This guy's gonna make me go in training mode tonight.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think a button would have beaten that. It might maybe a light or something. We can test the stand medium punch with Karen later.
Yeah. Back to the lab again.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Anyone who puts me back in training mode, you're doing something. You're making me do my job.
Oh, nice. Just placing that button there. Takes the corner. 35 damage. Good old Karin times.
Do you know what? I like how Marv assesses situations. Like, he'll back off if he needs to assess something before he walks back in.
And he has shown
That's
like
one.
immaculate patience as well.
Quick punish.
No,
Just there.
Quick punish though. That was beautiful.
That was beautiful, just like not having to do anything. Like it was such a silent, you know, he let the movement speak for itself. It was like just dissecting through the movement.
And you know what's extra like lovable to see is when someone whiff punishes with a heavy, you know, they weren't just pressing to buffer or confirm, right? That heavy is there as a reactional thing, and it's always so beautiful to see after that long patience.
Yeah.
He wasn't kidding when he's saying that he's definitely one of the players to look out for as time goes on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
delay
Confident
buffer
for a
on.
reason.
Absolutely.
Can you get another one?
stuff.
Yeah, good throw there from Marv.
Maybe
He's
another
not going to go for a third one, though. He just needs one counter hit, and that'll be it. But the counter
Wow,
hit came
nice
from
activation.
Giyu. Can he get a side
Go
swap?
for the side switch, yeah.
And
no,
that meter is draining.
No, it's fine, though, because Marv's still got 2
Yeah.
bars. As long as Marv's got 1 bar, he can close out this round. He doesn't need that second
Absolutely. But he was not too far. Okay, one more hit now for Giyu if it's a good one.
One more crouch.
That should be it.
one. Almost.
He tried to use that. Yeah, I respect the attempt.
Oh,
but
nice. And in the
was just not
scramble,
there.
he just does the crouching light kick. It's on situations. Sometimes that happens when you get the air reset, and whoever is more ready for it is definitely going to be the one capitalizing. He tried to use the stand light kick a few times to whip punish, right? Ooh,
There you go,
they got the crouch medium punch though.
Yeah, I feel Marv is still, like, he's with punished stand roundhouse. I think he's got a crouching medium punch or a crouching medium kick from Jury here and there as well. I think he's, because of how awkward Jury's buttons can be to deal with, I think he's still trying to find out what his consistent route is to get the damage
And
he
again,
needs.
but there you see that delay, baiting the DP, but
that
still
was
doing
really
the
good.
forward throw. I love it.
Yeah.
So important for Karin, especially, who's like a corner destruction character. There's that activation though.
Throw bait
Oh,
again!
again?
And he didn't cancel it. I think he committed to it, but
Oh, that's a big. No.
too far.
Misses the punish.
No with punish. That was lucky for Marv.
Next hit wins. Either
Yeah,
player.
big hit. Yeah, definitely. If he gets a reward. Oh no!
Oh
counter-
no, just out of
confirmed, and the
range,
counter
dude. That was
confirmed
so
too far.
unlucky.
And
that
there's
was
that
so
crouch medium
unlucky
kick
for
confirmed
Marv.
from Giyu to run away with another game, and it's been so close, but the score just tells us a different story right now.
Yeah, I'd say, again, the deciding factors is it has to be that V-Trigger at the moment. Giyu's getting CA. Marv is losing CA. He's had meter to convert here and there, but sometimes, as you know, will it kill mainly comes from Karin CA. If you ain't going to see it, you don't know if it's going to kill. Anyway, but I like the way this is panning out. Hopefully Marv can pick things back up here, and that's going to be a big punish
Really
there.
cheap.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see this V-Trigger get highlighted in such a fashion.
Yes.
Marv is going with the V skill just for the extra V bar, or if it's. I need to ask about that.
What, you're not
for the
going
shoulder.
to use V-Skill too?
No, I mean after Tenko, he doesn't go for shoulder.
Oh, okay. It
level.
might be for extra Vimeo. Because I know Orochi does more damage, right?
Yeah, it does, and has the greatest Oki. The greatest of Oki. It sounded like an epic statement.
Yeah.
So trying to stay close just to reduce that mirror. I think it's such a
really
cool.
good.
I think it's such a
roundhouse. It's such a
cool
good move.
V-trigger thing to such a cool V-trigger to use. Oh, nice stagger walk. Tries to get another one.
Right, watch out for the
There you have the
reversal.
shoulder.
Though he's going to block it out here. Giyu's waiting for his trigger before he activates it. He's waiting for the trigger before he gets it.
Uh-oh.
Three damage is big.
Yo, that would have been
No confirmed, though,
huge.
nothing. And again, but
This
it worked
time
out.
Marv gets it.
Yeah, because he got the counter rate after having the crash medium punch hit.
There was a few attempts there for both sides. They could have
Yeah.
finished it off.
I think
Be
he's
like that sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
Marv's getting the initial. Marv's getting the initial hit with crouching medium punch, but I don't know if he thinks he's slight miscalculation on his range to connect the crouch medium kick, or he just wasn't expecting it to hit. So he's always getting that kind of hit stand medium punch, and then he confirms off of that.
Oh, Mr. Confirm. It
Yeah,
might be the
that's
new hitbox thing.
unfortunate. Because that was a
combo.
huge chance
Yeah,
for him. Now he's losing all the momentum he had.
Just walk away right now, again encroaching on that space, trying to close the gap here, but Giyu's still waiting for that trigger. He's got his V-skill 1, so if he gets a buffer or something, he's out. And then he tried to dash in,
Nice dash check.
and still some frames.
Yeah, he was trying to be a frame goblin.
Good jab.
I love
Yeah.
how you get that one in every time. I just love it. Nice usage of the
nice.
V reversal to make that activation redundant and then get the throw afterwards.
Okay, so like Marv has changed something. I don't think much has changed because again, the way he won that game, he was on track to win the other games like that as well. It's just again, meter disadvantage, just maybe missed on a punish here or something like that. Or again, trying to make a read on the throw and Giyu read it and done the throw invincible move. So a couple of small, intricate things that sometimes they go over all our heads.
I don't know. I just feel like Karin is one of those characters as well. Like, if you do like minuscule changes in the gameplay, it might not necessarily show in the most obvious way.
Yeah, of course.
That might be true too. Yeah. And it's just like they're battling very close matches, but sometimes even though it's like 50-50 on the ground, one guy just pulls away, but the other guy catches up. Might be one of those days.
Oh, he gets the whip punish again. I think he just,
I
think he just about got it because again, the faster your attack is to whip punish, the more time you have to react. The slower it is, you have less time to react. So
yeah,
and that is a 5-frame medium, that crouch medium punch, I believe. So
nice, the activation. It's called trying to backdash, but the air reset makes it redundant anyway. Ooh, no button frames.
Nah, he'll hold it. Nah, he'll hold it. Yeah, he'll hold it. It's fine.
Or maybe she has that backdash into button OS for the jab against Reed.
That's dead. That should be dead.
Big guess.
Or did he do a different combo? Is that dead?
Whoa!
There you go. There was huge scaling on that one. I think there was still a bit more to that combo because he just about put Karin in the corner. Could have done a medium uppercut there to finish it off, but he didn't need to.
Yeah, and it's so cool that even if he could have killed with just the bars, he intentionally drained the meter for Marv with the V-trigger activation for a little while.
You think about this character in the game differently, because if you activate that V-trigger and you can close out the round, you're sitting the bar for them so they don't have anything next
as well.
round.
So that was really cool. Ooh, just too late on that dash shimmy.
It's a very good strategy. So I really want to sit down, and we're probably gonna have to pick his brains about why on earth did you stick with this trigger through thick and thin.
I really like it though. Like it just
really
shows how.
No, because when
sometimes.
Let me tell you something. When you read about that trigger when it came out, it didn't sound bad. It didn't. It's like, oh wait, you can drain the guy's meter, and it's like, oh, okay, and then it just didn't work out.
And we all know how good and important meter is in this game.
Yeah, definitely. And like a meter builder like Karin, if you can deny that, that's huge.
Do you know what? I feel Marv's playing to Giyu's pace, not the other way around. I really think he's playing to Giyu's pace.
Yeah.
Because Giyu looks pretty damn slow with this character, but that's a good thing.
Definitely
I like that
pace.
It's kind of different too, because a lot of Giyu players are really fast. But he's just taking his time with the buttons right.
I like denying that.
He's got his CA though, not going to spend it. Save that meter, gets that throw bait, and that should be the round there for Marv. There you go.
That was perfect for Marv.
No meter
much
stolen.
needed. Yeah, can't steal what you don't have.
Yeah, listen, you don't show the meme. Literally show the meme.
Dude, already in the corner.
Yeah, building that V-bar. It's Marv.
This goes to show how much momentum someone like Karin can.
Right.
There's something about whip punishes. It's just too good to watch.
Too satisfying.
Okay, I think he intentionally did that.
I think so too. I think so too. Because sometimes when you're not expecting it, like you get tagged by it.
Yes, but not in that sense. I don't think I've seen a jury player use the V skill. It's like, yeah, I'm going to read you trying to shimmy me. I'm just going to get out of the corner. And that was the slow version, by the way. I don't think that was charged up. I think he just like held it and then just went out. Because if that was blocked, then that would have been like, what, -8? Something like that? I've heard the character select. So that means we need our stream team in the back to go to the back of the queue. And that means we're going to get a character
in the back of the line.
Back of the line, bro. That's how we're going to go. But yeah,
the line's back over there, bro.
No, that's interesting. At least from those first couple of games we've seen so far, a good understanding, or hopefully we've got a good understanding of both the play styles. We've seen a lot more than what we've seen in the past 3 years or 4 years of that V-Trigger 2 from Jury. So there's a lot we can ask you about that. But fantastic stuff to see so far. Again, these two have been spoken about in high regards. And
I can see why.
I absolutely love it.
Like
excellent understanding neutral buttons game is really a joy to watch so far.
Hey, like I said at the top of the hour, man, if there's one region that backs their boys when they come on the shows, the Midwest, they come out in droves. And I'm just like, I didn't even know you existed. But here you are. Like, here you are supporting your boy. I wish other regions were like that.
I absolutely love it how they show up for their people. Come and support.
Okay, there's a character, the costume change.
I like the costume
No, I do
change
all the
though
time.
because
No,
this is
costume
a
change the
top
best.
tier costume.
Yeah, I do all the time, mate. I just change my
It's
costume.
a top tier costume, so I totally understand.
That costume is actually ridiculous.
No,
It's
shouts to-
ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so good.
absolutely
Yeah.
top tier.
Let's talk
Absolutely.
about that costume.
So, for those of you who don't know, there's an artist that we actually work with. He's the one who designed this costume.
Yeah, it's really cool.
No, cancel though. Oh.
It's really cool because you see, Marv doesn't really dash, but if he dashes, it's often for that shimmy thing.
Yeah, my side
This time uses the
A
side.
few
flip.
times he's been dashing in, it's been like for the dash out again.
The meter's draining once again.
back throw.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I think he was
Walking
expecting a
to
butt
the
check or something. He
range.
wasn't quite sure, but he starts racking up.
That can happen against you. Wow, that was too sick.
Wait, hold on a minute.
Hello?
It has a hurtbox on both sides, definitely.
Hello?
I didn't know
And
that.
now
That was wild.
I've never seen that before. Wake up, buttons
I've seen
here.
it interact like that, but that like just happened so fast.
He's
that
dead.
was wild.
Oh,
Definitely
oh yeah,
used
he
with
built the
that
bar.
super.
I thought he was going to
Yeah.
spend the 2 bars instead, but he's in V-Trigger, gets a Gorenken into the CA, and in these games that Marv is starting to win, two times now, I believe it is, he's got CA to close out the round, so there has been a deciding factor. If he can make sure Giyu doesn't get that activation that he wants, then he can have that slight advantage there, because it is imperative meeting this game, as Olvaha alluded to before.
A question: if the V-trigger is active when Jury is getting comboed, does the meter still drain for the
I think
attacker?
if she's on the ground, if you juggle her, I don't think it takes it. I think so. There's some very finicky things to this trigger that like
So basically,
it
some
doesn't make
characters.
sense.
Yeah, so basically, some characters deal better.
Oh yeah, and if your combo's
Depending on
long, if your
yeah,
combo's long on the ground, you can lose that bar before you even need to convert it to the EX. So trust me, I've seen it. I've seen
Perfect
it.
calculation, and then you're just like,
paid for styling.
Let me tell you something. The worst thing is when you cancel into an EX move and your medium one comes out and it's minus double digits, and then Jury just
Oh
wakes up
my
and beats you
days, yeah.
because you stole your meter. That's Gorenken.
That's hilarious.
This throw. Can he walk up and get another one? No, he goes for a staggered medium instead.
And Jury, oh nice.
Yo.
Make sure that one reaches because it was far with the EX. Great awareness from Marv.
I've got to give respect to Marv because with punishing crouching medium punch like that,
Yeah.
it's not particularly
easy.
something
Yeah,
that's done.
that's not an easy feat.
It's not for everyone. Oh nice. Gets that
Heavy
block.
punish here.
Trying to build that V-trigger. It looks like for Marv because he has been doing shoulder when the V-trigger is ready and not activated.
Oh, that's
V-trigger
right.
might
Wait,
activate
can Jury? I don't think Jury can activate his V-trigger from specials, can she? I think it's only
That I don't know.
normals. I haven't seen him do
No,
the flip into
actually, she
V-trigger
can
too.
from like
Did
she
do it?
can from EX Fuhajin, like she can do.
But not the Ryuden Satsu, the flip. I don't think she did it from a flip.
What's going? Oh, with the
No, she can do that.
Oh, can she do that?
Yeah, she
Oh,
can
there
do
you go.
that.
Nice, there it is.
Nice.
Crucial moment, and I love that, Jammers, because sometimes you can deal with someone using a move because it's not a critical moment. But then when the critical moment comes, the opponent might be so used to it not being punished. So when the punish comes, it's almost like a surprise. I love it.
Nah, there you
when
go.
it's
You were
needed,
talking about
it's
it.
there.
Like, you were talking about it before. Like you were just basically waiting for the EX10 go.
Yeah, no, because
On
it's
reaction.
just it's one thing that the fireball's pretty good for Jury anyway, but I didn't want Marv to be deterred that his meter was being stolen, that he couldn't do that or forgotten that he could do that. So the fact that again Veggie said, look, he brought it at the moment, and he probably forgot about it. That's fantastic to see.
And that just goes to show that level of patience as well, because there was like a few seconds left on the timer as well.
I think he's trying to go to that well one too many times. He's trying to shim a bit too much here, so I think he's gonna
That
have to go
standing
back
medium
to.
kick just beautifully spaced from Marv. Ooh.
The Midwest has a lot of amazing talent that we don't really hear that much about. Just
Oh,
look
don't
at
worry,
this
we're gonna ask
exhibition.
him.
It's amazing.
We're gonna ask him the Midwest question after.
Oh, nice. Just walks out of range of that. Oh, yeah. Every time she's hit, it's actually sub stole.
Medium kick.
Air to air. He was waiting for that. He was a lion in waiting for his prey. As soon as they tried to jump out and escape, he said, "Lockdown, give me that round."
Dude,
I
that
like it.
round was 50% standing medium kick.
Yeah, and I like it because he had been hit by those jump out light kicks a few times earlier. And this time it was definitely like, if you try it again, I'm ready to end this round with it. It does not deter Giyu. Almost like a birdie main with a jumping medium punch.
And the throw range.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
got it. Press it heavy on defense and you might win the game.
Nice activation. He's draining.
Nah. He's just gonna go for the carry instead because this V-trigger can also do that.
Well, similar to Ken, Giyu has that option as well. And another with punish into the Risenha straight there. Try to go for a delay for the crush cannon, but didn't quite work out.
And with all that damage taken, Marv still hasn't built the bar. It's beautiful to watch how this V-trigger is working out.
So he can throw the fireball again momentarily. If he doesn't get hit by Garenken, of course, the shimmy, that's dead. There you go. And even in desperation times like that, he does have a meter disadvantage here, but because that's a 2-bar V-trigger, the Feng Shui beta, he can still beat his zone and steal. This woman is a thief at heart. She just never told you that from SF4. Back throw.
Oh, surprise dash to the back throw.
I would want to see more walk-up throws from Giyu. I think he's kind of gotten that respect.
He's been a little bit too patient with that, I feel, with the throw range of Giyu.
I think that's his style, though. I could be completely wrong, but again, these guys are playing like pretty slow pace.
And and I feel like these guys have played each other before.
Oh, of course.
Obviously.
Take it away again, the infamous stand medium kick. One of the best mediums in the game. Wake up button is working. Can he get the side swap? Yeah, okay, he didn't know which side he was.
He was going for something ambiguous there, maybe?
No, I think he didn't know what side he's going to be on from the first jump.
It's the best kind of jump where you don't even know where you're going to land.
And that meter, though, to get the 2 bars.
Yo, the stand medium button.
So alive, back throw will do it. And he woke up with the button, he knew it as well. Yeah, I think he tried to do a delayed button or even a back throw, and he got caught out. Yeah. And that will kill. Because I remember with the final update, what they did to Jury CA was they changed the damage distribution, so the chunk comes at the end. Boy.
And I think it looked like he kind of missed the timing for the dashes. So he got a dash a bit late, so the Oki wasn't real, so he got hit while trying to get that back throw. That's what it looked like.
It said counter hit, didn't it? Did it say counter hit on Marv's end or Giyu's end?
I think so. I think so.
All right, 4-3. Damn, we're going to be here for the long run, ladies and gentlemen.
For sure.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah, of course you do.
Just a couple of great players pressing buttons.
Bet you love that, don't you?
I do. It's beautiful.
Buffer there, though.
I need my fill of button presses. Nice whip punish from Giyu.
That is one of the most satisfying punishes. Like as a whiff punish or a buffer tool, that crouching medium punch into the flip is one of the most satisfying.
We're just poking away at the moment. Again, we've been on this left side of the screen a fair amount with Giyu being trapped in the corner for the most part, I'd say. I guess that counter hit. Do you know what? His counter hits from his counter conversions from lights have been pretty much on 0.9% of the time. As I was explaining that, he missed the next one. But
that EX Fuhajin is cancel. Yeah, that EX Fuhajin also very strong because you can always get guaranteed Oki from it.
She needs guaranteed Oki from something.
Yeah.
Backdash to avoid the sweep. Just looking for another activation point. It might be from a light, though. That's his safest bet, and that's what he's been getting a lot of mileage from.
It looks like Marv is trying to save that V-trigger for reversal when that activation comes.
I wonder if he's, I haven't seen him do sweep into V-trigger to Giyu. Maybe it's not a good idea from that, but again, still waiting here. Oh, that could have been it. If that said counter hit, I think he could have got the conversion.
Yeah, I probably went for that one instead, right? But now the Mark with the life lead, actually with a bigger life lead now.
Yo! What was that?
Bait the throw, and I guarantee he 110% knew Giyu was not going to do a reversal there. So the next time that similar encounter comes up, you might see a reverssul from Giyu.
Yeah,
that probably like beats the V-shift, the throw, and the back dash.
Something like that,
that's massive.
Right, there you go. Low forward gets blocked. That could have been punished, by the way, because it's a bit too close.
Corner carry, everything gets that V skill up. Oh,
committed. Nah, he committed.
He definitely did. Then the meter is just draining. I love it. Ooh.
That's fine. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because he threw him and he got the meter back that he lost. That's my problem with the trigger. There's situations where it just comes back. But obviously, she's stealing the meter.
But obviously, he would have had more. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, ultimately, Jury's getting meter to build for the CA and the EX meter, right? So it's not too bad. I'm probably just looking at the cons of it too much. Just looking for that conversion. Yeah, he wants a confirm into light tensor min or something.
There it is. Beautiful work.
Buffer with punish.
Like I said, that's easily one of the most satisfying buffers.
Go. For those of you wondering, we're actually using a debug build of the game. They're playing on the grid, we're showcasing a different stage, so if the textures are coming out at a very, looking incredibly weird, it's because we're on a debug build. That's all it is.
Right.
I don't know, people are looking at the back of the stage more than the characters, so...
Yeah. I didn't, it's like...
Dude, I liked one of the answers on the chat. Like the hot matches melted statues. Like, that's my that's my headcanon.
It's like a FGC group who are like stage watchers. They're not watching the streams for the matches. They're just there to watch the stage view, stage watching.
Well, I'm here to watch Roundhouse hit like 4 times in a row from Marv. What about you guys? But
ooh, and stand like kick counter confirms it's a crouching medium kick from Giyu.
One low forward, a one-way punish will do it from Marv, and he's got the game. It has to be from a medium. It can't be from a light. It has to be from a medium.
Give that space to the Fuhajin.
Giyu doesn't want to activate on block because it doesn't want to be reversal.
Nice
Luckily,
challenge.
there was no counter rate on that one. Will he just activate? Or there's the activation. There's the V reversal.
Nice. Once again denying the activation.
I think that's similar to Dalton's V trigger, right? When you V reversal, it's just ignore the blood damage for a couple of, like a split second.
Yeah.
If Giyu gets come back from this, I swear.
That would have been amazing. Dude,
that is such a good round. There's a stand light kick plus the standing medium kick, just covering all spaces, like just throwing those out like that. It's such a strong finisher for the rounds.
And it's so funny to see how some buttons just completely change strength when it's for the last hit for stun or kill. It's just like this button is just okay, it has a great hitbox, but it does nothing. And then okay, this button is just auto win now. I really like that. I think it's really funny interaction when you see how the life bar or stun bar decides how good the button really is.
Legit. When it comes to certain pokes or moves in the game, they go from your standard normal to one of the best closeout buttons in the game.
Oh, for sure. Oof, not ready to punish that throw though, Marv. Has to go.
Oh, and didn't punish the Tenko either.
Okay, so try to keep him locked down here.
There we have the punish on the missed throw. But sees it once, ready the next time.
He done a slight walk back before he set that up, so really good stuff there from Marv as well. Again, their situational awareness and spatial awareness. It's fantastic.
Giyu not demoralized by that.
That could have been the
Still going for the throw. Once again, that's such a good V reversal.
Probably read the fireball, tried the jump. It's looking really rough right now. Has the V reversal though, so can't be chipped yet. Hit.
Oh, took the fight to him when he knows his meat was draining. Okay. I like it. I like that
showing some guts.
Let's go. All right.
I wonder if... I'm thinking, like, Giyu's opting to do shimmies a bit too much. I think he should be a bit more stubborn with throws for a little while before he goes back to shimmying again.
Oh, gets it.
But as soon as he gets shimmied himself, but... Throw?
Oh, that's that. I
he
love
can
it.
change
Delay
so
forward
quickly.
throw. It's not that easy, you know, to do a delay forward throw. Most people just delay back throw because they're crouching when they're doing it. So seeing someone actually putting thought into that, it's just lovely.
So refreshing.
Alright, just staying in the corner, trying to fight his way out here, but the V-Trigger 2 is completely drained now, so he's got his meter back. But the big thing is, how is Giyu going to convert if he can keep Marv caged in the corner?
Giyu just trying to keep Marv on arm's length, but Marv pushing out of the corner.
Yes, that Rekka. And what a beautiful buffer from Giyu. One more hit, probably, right? Yeah, that should be
Back
one
to
more.
One more hit, most likely in the super. Oh,
He's waiting for a reversal.
Yeah.
Buffer will
The
do
heavy
it.
Fuhajin.
Oh, he knows it again. Yeah, lovely throw. Taking advantage of that throw range. Or should I say the walk speed to get that throw?
And I love these brave buttons
That
from
was
Giyu,
it.
but
That
not
was it.
yet. But he was so committed in looking for the hit confirm. He wasn't even thinking that he might get a whiff punish opportunity, and it's closing down right now. Can't activate. That's dangerous.
One last hit. Oh, and there it is. You can't try to dash there. Oh.
Well, the thing is, you know what it is, right? I think a lot of people don't do this against Karen in those situations. Obviously, he's trying to close out with crouching medium or stand medium kick. It's difficult. You can try it. Jab buffers or light buffers actually do work well in those situations. I think she can do jab into EX.
Jab into light pinwheel?
Probably.
No, not light pinwheel. You do jab into EX. Fuha.
Kicks. Yeah, Fuhajin.
I think it could have worked, but I don't know if he considers that or just tries to go around the poke by taking the huge risk. But
The big damage. Oh, missed that meaty setup though.
okay, light activation.
There you go.
I love how you get that big frame advantage, whatever button you cancel from.
Well, the thing is, it's fixed frame advantage, right? So, like, because of the animation, it's consistent.
The tables are turning.
One. What's it gonna be?
The tables are
Wake
turning.
up, crouching jab. Dangerous
time
but
on the lead.
respectful decision for Marv to take the lead in the set.
Wow, okay.
This is interesting.
Now, do you know what it is? Again, I've seen the slow, methodical side of these guys. I've seen, again, the aggression. I've seen the kind of stubbornness, the obstinate way of playing with the throws as well. They look like they're kind of on a similar wavelength in terms of how they want to open each other up. But I think Marv is he's more comfortable backdashing, or at least avoiding situations, knowing when he has the extra center available, as opposed to Giyu. I could be wrong in saying that. That's just my personal assessment.
Confirmed, though.
And I think Marv has been more successful at opening up, not getting interrupted, and getting the correct reads on the meaties and the timing of that. Yeah, that's definitely
lights out, baby.
At least.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's definitely a chance. Misses the throw though.
I wouldn't be surprised if you done a jab interruption
So
or
you're
a
telling
reversal.
me there's
Another
a
one?
chance?
Oh, I was too afraid. Too afraid.
Oh,
I
there
think
it is.
that's
Great.
nice. Yeah,
Held
delayed
it down.
for Marv.
I don't know about
Maybe even
dashing there,
reacted.
though.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not sure, because he was a bit too close. The walk's already menacing enough.
Exactly, and the delay button would be both right. And there we have it again. He only dashes when he's gonna shimmy, and the delay catches the back dash and recovery. No air reset. What's it gonna be? Oh, the delay. He's so good at the timing on his pressure.
Reversal. Yeah, he's had enough. He's had enough. He's probably gonna have to start implementing that option a little bit more, just to get Marv to consider certain things, to allow him to wake up with buttons later on in the set. Activates. Is he going for the screen carry? No. Saves it for the side swap.
Oh, just chilling, draining that bar.
Back throw will do it. And he thought it as well, Giyu, and he got opened up with a crush counter again, because he could have made it safe. And Marv getting that win streak and increasing that lead he has here in this set. What looked bleak at the start, because he was 3-0 down. Could have been a shaky start, because if that was tournament, you're out. But it's not. It's not tournament.
I love that line.
It's an exhibition. You got plenty more time. Trust me, there's certain players and characters you're like, oh, I'm gonna fight you in the first to 10. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So first to 3 where you just run away. It's like, no, we're here for the long haul.
And the big thing is, I feel like Marv, oh, nice interruption on the dash, just so ready. Oh, again, I think he's hitting all his conversions for crouching. I think it must be that from crouching to standing on the hitbox. I'm gonna ask about that.
Because he did say he recently swapped to hitbox, didn't he?
Yeah, I really, yeah. And I remember that was one of the harder things to get used to. Waiting for the down to be released when you were doing crouching medium kicks into something.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
You know what? He's got a lead, so it's fine. I wouldn't be surprised if he did another one or just delayed it. We'll see. And he just does the delayed button instead. No punish?
No punish.
Nah, he was waiting for the activation. That's why.
Definitely.
Mind game.
That's that mix up. Oh, no counter it. Back throw.
That's a dent.
Nice activation. Okay, that's from a special at least, and has the plus frames. This is definitely kill. You don't miss it. No way. Ooh. Needs to get close to make sure that he doesn't build any super.
Nice.
Wow, what a throw. I love it. Marv was just waiting to block some buttons, right? And Giyu with that walk-up throw.
I feel the V-trigger as allowing him to do that. I don't think you'd do that with the other V-trigger because of the chain combos and the cancellation. I really think because the V-skill, the V-trigger has extra consideration to it, he's allowed to walk up and do that.
Yeah.
Nice cancel.
Nice, yeah. Okay. Confirms some very on point from standing buttons.
No activation, wants to save that for later. I see that, I respect that.
Do you know what would be big brain? If Marv did delay crouch fist when he woke up. I don't know if
that's
he's
like
gonna
a 10 player thing.
He's part of high level play now. Trying to go.
Oh,
he
wow,
wasn't
okay, going for the heavy reads.
Yeah. Well, that's safe. So it's not really heavy, but.
That's true.
Good with neutral jumps though.
Okay. The V-trigger's run out. Just waiting for that one hit into the CA so he can close out this game. Giyu needs this game, but he might lose it. Watch out for the overhead as well.
Yeah, Marv definitely also afraid to throw because he could have been hit by that wake up, right? Oh,
nice.
I think he tried to walk away. He even tried to backdash and walk away. And good crouch light kick because that is a button that's seldom used by Karen anyway. So good to lock him down in that situation. Very precise.
Definitely master of his character, both of these players.
Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Because it looks like they cross under, right? So.
Well,
yeah.
Who does that? One Step Later does that a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Shouts to One Step.
It looks like they cross under, so you might block the wrong way, but
oh yeah,
you're definitely ready for it. I feel like this is such an important round because the score runaway and the win streak is so big now. Nice. That's been a while since he got those jump outs.
Yeah. Really interesting to see how the tables have turned.
Good check there from Giyu. I think he felt that Marv was boxed in too hard and he felt a little bit desperate. Gets the throw. Can he sneak in another one? I thought you were going to
he's defaulting
again with the crouch medium kick.
He's defaulting to the standing medium punch.
It's fine that he's defaulting there. I think if he can sneak in 2 throws at one point, it will change that situation for the next like 2 or 3 games.
The dynamic for sure.
Yeah, but we had that. Oh, okay, nice. He gets. We had a really clutch scenario where he did throw walk-up throw and got counter it and lost a round for it. So he might still kind of be feeling that one. Still has super though. Not anymore. Now it's the super.
Oh, big damage coming through.
Now it's gone again.
Throw. Oh yeah, again, just another one. No, he doesn't. Ah, that's it. That's
what a delay. Beautiful delay.
Oh, wait. I think that's crouching specific. I think what he just did there is crouching specific. Yeah, he did stand midi punch, and then he got the crouching midi kick at the end.
I think so too.
You can't do that on, I believe you can't do that on standing opponents. So
no way.
Good situational awareness and optimization there from Giyu. So shouts to him. All right, I see you. That's how it works, man. Again, I like how methodical and strategic he is with his offense and just his overall gameplay. I think sometimes he needs to be a little bit more disrespectful with this character. I don't know if he has it in him, but...
Dude, this has been so close. It's really important for Giyu to get that because he's going to get his confidence back.
Oh, nice. Punish on the throw again. So ready for that is Marv.
I like the walk back from
and again with the crouch midi, I'm telling you, it's only the crouch midi kicks where those confirms aren't coming out.
Well, I guess you can ask him afterwards if it's a hitbox.
Definitely
because he's been consistent with stand medium punch, so...
Exactly.
And isn't that the smaller window?
I think they're both really big.
Are they the same, or...?
I think they're both 17. Maybe stand medium punch is 16, but I doubt it's harder than that. From what I can remember, at least.
Oh, nice
punish. Can't really get a good read on him. Wakes up stand medium kick though.
I mean, he had the range after reversals. You can back recover. I mean, it does give the person who did the reversal a bit of frame advantage, but not enough for them to kind of really overwhelm you. Unless under certain conditions, of course.
Oh, he tried to whiff punch.
Look forward again, just blocking, gets that buffer.
I mean, we've been talking about carrying standing medium kick. I think we should give a moment first. Yuri's infamous standing medium
Wait,
kick.
Yuri has a standing medium kick? I didn't know. Wow,
but brother, I have some news for you.
Still trying to fish out that wake up button. That's not been coming again from Marv. Ooh, lucky break for Giyu, but this round is going to be rough for Marv to come back from.
Bro, okay, ran
almost
into
looked like the throw was coming again with that. I love it. Using that walk back.
There it is.
That's the situation. It's so dangerous. It's like, yeah, the opponent has to make the comeback, right? But the biggest way to make that comeback is if you actually do that EX reversal instead of taking the throw. It worked out. I feel like that's one of the biggest risks, bigger risk than a normal EX deep. I don't know about you guys.
No, well, again, like you said, he knows that Marv has to make the comeback. Marv isn't going to look to bait a DP there with such low life, and if he still throw's not going to help in that scenario. What you pointed out before, Veggie, with the delayed forward throw, that's not going to help him. He needs to do like a delayed button. Can't risk that. I'm just going to go for the gusto. And Giyu knew that. He took the reversal chance and it hit. He got the route.
And he had a considerable life lead as well at that point anyway.
Oh, you know, he done the reversal knowing he could have taken the damage. He done that.
That's true.
Alright, no punish there. Actually, that was a bit too far, so crouching jab wouldn't have worked. Maybe stand like it would have worked, though. I think stand like it's 4 frames with Karen. That's a very good light. Let me double check.
Nice surprise dash. Marv actually taking this time, recognizing that Giyu is closer and can walk out of the throw.
Sound like he's 4 frames. He's got good range. I wonder if he hasn't used that. Pressure being applied. Activates. Let's see if he can... nice. That's dead. That is dead. Yes. Don't worry. Everyone flinches in that situation every so often. Stand light kick. You're just there. I remember when that button was +3 and it was basically a magnet.
You can be the most patient player, but you will at some point try to tech.
Oh, of course. Cammy and Karen are the biggest criminals to that regard.
Yeah. And you feel stupid afterwards every time.
Don't care who you are. There we go, just going low.
Beautiful, like slide walk, get the range on those buttons, no cancelable. Oh,
dude, there's been so much, there's been so much micro adjustment on the movement scale right now.
Yeah, I think it's more
to look at. What an interruption, though.
Yeah, I think it's more difficult for Giyu to make the adjustment though, because again, the reward on whiff punishing is substantially bigger for Karen than it is for Jury.
Yeah.
Under these conditions anyway, so he needs to really pick those buttons. Gotta shimmy again.
It's down to one hit for Giyu. There you go.
Daggering with the lights.
Nice. I like in those situations as well. Outside of reversal, they're not too overcommittal. I've noticed they're not too overcommittal these guys.
Forward dash.
That was such a great round start with the
This,
long
like-
walk stand, light punch dash.
Yeah. I can't overstate how even this is right now. Like it's
Legit, it's a
so
deadlock.
back and forth.
It's legit a deadlock.
Yeah,
Another
it's
surprise
so
dash from
cool.
Giyu. Marv's not been looking for it for a while. Might change up now though, and we'll see some interruptions on those dashes if they continue coming.
He almost got him.
Marv. Yeah.
That's
Nice
one
counter
avenue
confirmed.
of damage that's been pretty big for Marv. And another reversal. Is he going to
Yeah, the
reversal back
standing
away?
medium punch has been absolutely a crucial part of Marv's game plan. And the counter hit specifically.
Got it.
The long walk, that was so nice to look at. He has a throw activation if he wants to.
Nah, he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be
reversible,
reversal. Yeah, he doesn't want to be reversal.
But at the same time, though,
Now
then
he
you
can
can't avoid this, which is kind of big. He needs that activation. Take that meter away from the super. It's not that big.
Oh, okay.
Don't mind me.
If that was a heavy, he could have super back. He was close enough. Just waiting it out here. I think he
Dude,
wants
the
to hit.
patience is
Oh, okay, you
unreal.
can do it. Answer my question. There you go.
I was one throw close to. Yeah,
And
I
the
was close to
stand
skipping out.
Interesting. Did he go to press the button or was that misinput?
It looked like a button press. Maybe
Yeah.
thinking that since he was closer to chipping, Marv, he was thinking maybe I'll wake up DP. Just a guess. Button. You though, not afraid. I'm not gonna
No, do you know what?
care about that. I'm just gonna press.
In
And I love
those
it.
scenarios, sometimes sometimes you shouldn't be scared. He's on a 3-win streak now though, so 7-6. Damn, these guys are taking it to the wire. These guys are taking it down to the wire.
Absolutely crazy exhibition from Midwest.
Definitely didn't jinx the exhibition though.
Yeah. It was not a wash.
Walked away. I saw a jab come out from Giyu as well. I'm not sure he's trying to catch that throw, but trying to take a leaf out of Marv's book because Marv's been super consistent in terms of trying to catch the throw. That could have been punished.
Yeah, it
that
looked
felt
like
a bit too close. There we go.
Can be a situation once again.
Yeah, it's just clashing. Just gonna build the meter.
Wow. That was such a great hit.
Still draining. Throw. That's
Yo,
fine.
beautiful
He was already
adjustment
committed to
from
the
Giyu.
throw.
That's it. It should be dead.
Nice.
Full combo now.
There it is.
There's no
Don't even
doubt in
need
my
the
mind that
meter.
will kill.
Yeah. Brilliant closeout there from Giyu. Substantial round for him. Trying to look at make it 8 apiece here. But Marv looking to equalize once again. He can't be trailing for too long. Jumps away. Okay, no anti-air though.
I like how he's been using the back roundhouse so much.
Oh,
because I don't
unfortunately,
see a lot of
it's-
juries necessarily use it as much as Giyu seems.
Oh, nice.
I don't know.
Confirmed.
Giyu's jury kind of reminds me of Fast as Urian.
Yeah.
He's using buttons that you wouldn't really use
Yeah.
at times and in different scenarios. And of course, using V-Trigger 2. Fast uses V-Trigger 2 with Urian as well. So it's like, okay, I see something in this V-Trigger that
Definitely,
probably
yeah.
other people don't. Throw again. Can he get a third one? Or is he going to leave it? Yeah, he play it safe. And the whip
Oh,
punish,
what
he
a
might
whip
send
The
that.
heavy, like Veggie said,
He might have
when,
done that
when they
intentionally.
use the heavy, it is intentional 100%.
Yeah,
So beautiful.
boy.
Could he
Space-
kill without a super there?
I play
Probably
it
could
safe.
with like the EX. Yeah,
I'd play it safe.
it's a good point.
Poetry in
Especially-
motion.
Yeah.
I think he would have to
Nice.
commit to the EX Orochi anyway, but you
Yeah,
don't do
yeah.
that unless you know you've got the full combo or you go for the stun, so just play it safe with the
Right.
super, and he's going to build the bar back anyway. He's already in the corner.
Dude, at this point, like, it's been so even that even the slightest round win could give you the edge that you need. Like,
Yeah.
so you definitely don't want to leave any food on the
Oh,
platter.
Marv is kind of falling apart. First time
No
we've seen that on defense.
Dead.
And he is back in control.
Nice work.
This will end your suffering.
Just give it up, man.
Wow. Okay, good stuff there to Giyu, increasing that win streak and further increasing that lead in this first to 10. I gotta say, man, thoroughly impressed, and we're not even done yet. I still think Marv has some energy left in the reserve tank,
For sure.
but again, we have to see how it goes, because I think he's stuck to just kind of switching between plan A and plan B. I think he's just stuck to those, man. But it's, again, it's incredibly consistent. It's got him this far. I think he's switched up how he's allowing Marv to get damage as opposed to not leaving or presenting that many opportunities to him. There you go. Again, he's throwing out these audacious sweeps as well. They have been working out, but I hope he doesn't feel he has to resort to that much more than
Kareen for the longest time was the worst defender of the sweep department.
Well, Birdie as well. Let's not forget Birdie.
That's like ages ago.
So was Karen.
Repressed memories.
Karen's has changed like 1 season ago or 2.
That's actually true.
Yeah, don't challenge the sweep knowledge.
Look at this corner carry though.
I mean, I've seen some dastardly sweeps in my time. There you go. Good stuff there from Marv. Solid round. Let's see if he can make that comeback and get this game. Whoa. Okay. Maybe that was just a, hey, let me see what happens here. He probably buffed the super on that as well. So
yeah. Let's get that early confirmed.
I mean, he was basically fishing with dynamite.
I mean, depending on the game you play, that could work. Nice buffer. Or nice whip punish.
It's so intentional. The moment Marv has knee trigger, he goes for the shoulder instead of the knee skill. Such like beautiful game plans designed by yourself.
Always respecting the Fuhajin. I like that from Marv.
But he has the X-Tenko though. That's the thing. He doesn't have to respect it as much as he will. But I don't think.
Yeah, he has to find the sweet spot.
But that's the thing we spoke about earlier. It's like you don't want to put too much focus on something like that at an elusive character like Giyu.
Right.
Put focus when it matters.
Oh, he tried to sneak it. Yeah, he tried to catch him on
surprise dash.
Like, that could have been a great moment.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking about that, Maggie. Definitely sharing the same brain cell.
Well, he's done it again here. Puts a game on the board. And if there's one, again, we were talking about this
I'll pass it to you again.
We were talking about this before. One avenue that's been like highly consistent for Marvin getting damage is Giyu whiffing his throws, and then Marv getting the Stampedian punch. There, you literally saw Giyu trying to shimmy him. Didn't work. As soon as he whiffed the throw, Stampedian punch came out. So I don't know if Giyu was clocked onto that, at least from his department. But
sweep?
I mean, he needs to get back into the dogfight.
Attack again.
Hands off. Ooh, I like it. Such an impactful standing heavy kick.
Yeah, it's actually back heavy kick.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, it's caught. Pardon.
Oh, she's so formal.
I just love that the Giyu's walk forwards is just really interesting to look at because they're rarely checked like that. And then gets that reload.
Here you go.
Feel it.
The reversal's there, so if he wants to use it against the right button, he can.
Did you see also that? Just sitting in that range.
Yeah. That was basically perfect for Giyu because he wasn't necessarily even pressing any buttons, so he was just basically absorbing the meter and not giving anything on block.
Well, no, this is the thing. It's a case where, we were talking about this before, right? The V-Trigger 2 is allowing him to walk in a range where he will block a button, but if nothing's happening,
he's still gaining.
He's still winning.
Yeah.
They're lucky it's not like Rose's V-Skill 1, which is like give your life back.
Yo, the back.
Probably makes Marv want to press more to get him out, which might open up some like hidden pressure kind of. Nice counter it.
Throw take there, and the sweep to activate, made it safe.
Nice delay jump.
He needs to get a great kick going. There's one.
Ooh, no interruption again, I wonder why. Oh!
Damn, he done the kills you. Mate, kills you actually walk all the way back to his house, come back, and then sit with punish you. That's stuff that should
Finally gets the crouch medium kick confirmed, making sure that that down button is released before pressing.
Wow. There you go, solid stuff here. Let's see if Marv, this game's crucial. 8-8 is different to 9-7.
Ooh, nice.
So true, Jammers. Ooh. Again, crouch medium kicks. It's not the confirmability. We've seen that with this one. Very interesting. Lay back throw this time.
Ooh, there we go.
Finding the counter hit.
Got him.
What an activation.
Right. Marv's got a choice to make. Is he going to firm this or is he going to reversal? I wonder. He firms it. Ooh.
close to stun.
Got him!
Yo, it's been
Out of
such a long
nowhere.
time. Yeah, it's been such a long time. Definitely something you have to look for to stop on reaction, right?
Nah, you'll never do
It's
it.
been specifically
Yeah.
86 years since I last saw that.
Yeah, that's the third one this set, right? The first one hit, the second got blocked, and the third one hit. Who won? V-skill won.
And this is the thing, right? In a first to 10, with that V-skill used under those conditions, you actually don't know when it's coming. Maybe in a first to 2, it's more panicky, so you're slightly expecting a bit more, but you just never know when that version of the V-skill is coming.
Okay, that was a sick shimmy.
And he's not happy about that. He is definitely not happy that he fell for that.
And that crash meter kick again. It's
Like I said,
so
like I said
unfortunate for
before,
Marv.
dude. Like you feel like an idiot if you get hit by that.
nice. Yes, he's pressing buttons. Does not want to be in that meter drain.
Walking to the sweet spot,
Nice
invading your personal space.
Ooh, gets that hit again. It's so unfortunate. He's had so many opportunities with the crouching meter kicks.
Okay, just wait in there. Again, crouch medium punch into something should do the trick here. If he's just playing it safe, Giyu, that's a punish. That should be dead.
Nice punish.
Yeah. Okay, gets the back.
Seiya! That is such an impactful throw when it kills or stuns.
That Akira's one as well.
I think so too, Doctor. He's definitely forgetting to release that down button before pressing his kick button.
Yeah.
Nice big punish with the roundhouse. I'm not sure if he's looking for the crush counter, he just pressed it there. But again, with this strategy, if he is on hitbox and he's still learning the ropes, then boy, getting this far is impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, nice counter hit confirm.
Only gonna get better.
Time for you.
Six.
Both rounds ended by that impactful back throw. Let's go.
And that's such a sick back throw, like a clean.
Let's talk
sweep.
about that.
Clean.
Let's talk
sweep.
about that.
It's like a judo throw.
And you know judo throws because you do judo.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I don't know judo, but you do. So when you say it, it's like a credible source.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but anyway.
Anyway, 9-8. Let's see if Giyu can close out this set, or we're going to go to the final game, final round. Again, these guys have put on a show. Regardless, I've enjoyed it from start to finish.
Dude, we need a 9-9.
I want a 9-9.
Well, that's up to Marv. That's not up to you two.
That's up to me.
Punish! Oh, you could have got something much bigger because of how the range, how close that was.
Definitely.
Nice. He's done it again.
Nice. Once again, the standing medium pinch. The MVP of the game.
Good dish.
Did he do double rounder?
Oh, Jesus, what fun is this standing kick with the V-trigger activation? No, that was sick. I love it. We get to see a specialist, V-trigger specialist that are also showing you things you've never
Once
seen
again,
before
the
with his
sweep.
V-trigger.
Oh,
Sweep working overtime right
yeah.
now.
gets to throw. Again, one conversion to an EX move should do it here for Giyu, but Marv, unless he's got something to say about it. That's dead. That's dead.
Worked out for him. He can't
Beautiful, beautiful.
confirm Giyu not ready to check the command dash at the classical Karin.
Well,
failed to
I mean,
confirm into death.
Do you know what?
Let's go.
That's what I don't. That's one of my gripes about this game. It's not even just Karen. It's my gripes about the game. Someone messes up something, you react. It's like, yeah, he's fed up. That's gonna be
And look
something.
at the train. The training is on track for Marv to set this to 9-9.
Well,
That was it. But
That-
just
yeah, that was it.
Missed the reaction just a bit. Don't fall apart now.
The train conductor is
sweep
here.
activate's coming, and he knew it. He
What a
knew the sweep
Beautiful
activate was
trap.
coming.
Yeah, that was such a trap. And if he gets this done now, the run is done.
That's a sweep once again. It's clocking overtime.
Damn. He's just got to
Sweep
stay
is
there.
like,
no,
okay, back to work.
That could have been round
Oh,
two.
he's done. That's the round.
It's
That's the
round
round.
so
Yeah.
sick.
Do you know what? It's because I think it's because he knows he's on potentially the last game. So he's trying to see if Marv's deterred by the reversal or something, and it hasn't. He's just stuck with his game plan. He's stuck with the guns. He's made it 9 apiece. It is a first to 1.
Dude, beautiful.
Is he gonna let this slip through his fingers, Giyu?
I'm ready. Who's ready on the chat? Tell me if you're ready. Tell me if you're ready in the chat.
Down now, or is it gonna speed up, or stay the same?
I don't know. They can let fist fly, or do you know what? They can let feet fly at this location because they both use their feet a lot.
Speeding
But
up for Marv right now.
no shimmy.
Tried to set up the shimmy.
If I was him, legit, I would not take a throw this entire round. Giyu. If I was Giyu, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
I would never do it.
And I mean,
No matter what you
No,
do,
I'm
do
not doing
not
it.
take the throw.
Poking away right now. No whiff punish. He had the opportunity there. That would have been big.
nice. Nice. Not getting hit by that walkback trap on the throw.
Oh, he's threatening him with the sweep. Yeah, he's doing the other buttons because he can threaten him with the sweep activation.
It was a crucial drop from Marv.
Roundhouse.
Big roundhouse though.
Confirm on the activation.
Roundhouse.
Something to look for. What a whip punish or buffer. Marv though, in the driver's seat right now.
There it is.
Is an activation.
Not for long.
One more hit.
Now he's just a passenger on the ride. Oh no, he's back on the wheel.
The throwback!
He had the super. No,
He's back on the wheel.
This is dangerous.
Featuring one with a safety there.
It's Chip City.
Yeah, it's Chip City.
Do you know what's crazy? I hate to be that guy, but when he got the stand medium kick, I literally said featuring one with a safety because you'd be able to cancel it into the roundhouse and got the round. But this is
You
different.
hate to be that guy, but you also love to be that guy.
Listen, man, we're on potential match point here for Giyu once again. Unless Marv can take it to the final round.
I want final round. I want final round.
Oh, he
That's the
tried
big
to
punish.
confirm.
Don't throw bait. Good blocks.
Ooh, waters. That's like the first time he does that. Oki dash tries to get the stand heavy punch and here it's too slow.
And Marv's still trying to keep composed here. Lovely whip punish on the crouch medium kick.
Yeah, he's
Chasing him
danger
down.
zone,
Please do
danger
not
zone.
reversal. Thank you.
Storing those Fuhajins as well, or has all the three.
Gets the activation. Gets jumped out of. Back. Gonna get full hit.
Yeah, take auto grabs.
but the back.
No, take auto grabs.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
And
punish.
no, no, and that's not confirm again. Oh no!
Drops it. Oh, but gets hit by the V trigger.
My man got hit. Oh man, my man got hit by Gareth getting to CA. But this is
Say,
it.
look.
He had to get that round to keep himself in the fight. He's at a severe meter disadvantage. So if Guy wants to spend that meter early, he can do so.
Even Gil was clapping on the background. He was like, okay, good stuff.
That was so sick.
That's the first time he swept.
Yeah, exactly. It took 18 games in 2 rounds.
I wonder if he's gonna pull the V skill.
Wow.
What to end the set? Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
He needs to charge it. He needs to
Dude,
charge
that
it
would be
first.
so sick.
Especially if it got blocked because then it's 2-2.
He needs to charge it first.
Ooh, what's it gonna be? Soon has the activation station.
He's denying the
it's
forward
slowing down
movement
again.
from Marv.
I think he should spend his CA
No
early.
confirm
you know.
again.
Oh, look at the battle of medium kicks. Look at it. They're just trading medium kicks at this point.
Try to walk out of it.
Yeah,
Maybe
there you
there's
go.
that hit. Big super.
Right, he needs to charge up his Fuhas. One. Yeah, he needs that. That's what he needs.
Oh, another one. Oh, that was such a scary anti-air attempt for Marv.
Tries to reversal. Watch me kick. Has
No,
to hold
wait,
this
take
mix
some.
up. No confirm.
Wow, that was a V reversal. Wait, was that V reversal? No,
That was
couldn't have been.
true. Doesn't matter. It was
Nah.
sick way to end the round.
That
That
couldn't
was
have been a V reversal
amazing.
because I'm pretty sure her V reversals is with kicks. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was a sublime set. Absolutely fantastic. Let me see the GGs in the chat. The power of feet prevailed because it was a battle of medium kicks and light kicks and something. It was all
And medium
there.
punches.
And I hope you all enjoyed it just as much as we did. Like we said, when the Midwest come out, they come out and deliver. You boys weren't lying. So shout out to the guys that recommended
Mid-best.
these two for
I'm a
us.
mid-best
I am
enjoyer.
convinced. I am convinced by the mid-best.
Wait.
I'm
you're
a casual
wait.
mid-best enjoyer.
Okay, I like that you changed your words real quick. He didn't want to snake his boys. I know he didn't do it because I would have called the Finnish community on you. Anyway, now, what we are going to do, that was fantastic. Let me see those GGs in the chat. We're going to take a break because, listen, we're all sweating here. We need to calm down a little bit, but we need to talk about and decipher how that set actually works. So give us about 5 minutes, and when we come back, we're going to have Marv and Guy on the other side to talk us through what they were thinking during that set. See you in a bit.
Show you the
You can connect with a net battler on the other side of the planet whenever you want. Cyber Society sure is something.
space-time distortions. There's still puking out dinosaurs all over the planet.
So, Bikitoa Island's been sealed up for 3 years, and Ibius won't own up to Leviathan's malfunction?
Can you address the reports of exofighter patrols on the island?
Reports of exofighter patrols are simply untrue. IBS is committing all possible resources to the investigation.
Exercise results logged. Sunsetting temporal instance.
Come on back. Drinks on me.
There are hundreds of exofighters running around out there. Everyone's armed, and nobody knows what'll happen next. 1 minute, they could be helping you. The next minute, they're shooting you in the back.
You need to keep fighting until we can figure out how to destroy the Leviathan. It's trying to build stronger exosuits, so it's pulling any exofighter in their hold back in time to these bloody war games.
Like it or not, the exosuit's keeping his alive out there.
But the more we use it, the more it helps Leviathan.
Well, that's not an option.
So one way or another.
Valued team members, prepare for dimensional integration in 10 minutes.
You stay alive, man. Only you.
If you give an AI like Leviathan the directive, improve our exosuits, it has to complete it. It doesn't matter whether that takes 100 tries, a million, all for the perfect suit.
More than that.
But at least do me the courtesy of looking me in the face whilst you do it.
Okay, pinky, forefinger, back to middle, full wrist articulation. Then we do it in reverse. Begin.
What the hell are you guys doing?
It's a secret robot handshake.
Good morning, Victoria.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to tonight's episode of Sets featuring Marv and Giyu from the Midwest. Apologies. The Midbest.
Midbest.
I don't know
Midbest.
when. I don't know. I feel when you have players from the Midwest and you say Midwest, you just feel like there's like 100 eyes on you, and you're just like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean any trouble, but I'm not from here. If you didn't know. But yeah, Midwest.
I don't want any trouble.
Wait, I said it all the time. Look, I'm 6'2". When I see someone 6'8", I'm like, I don't want any trouble, mate. I didn't do anything to you, but but yes. All right, let me find out. Have we got Giyu and Marv back in the chat? Are we loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. We had an exhilarating set with Giyu coming out on top, just slightly there. So Giyu, congratulations on that. But Giyu, you're going to have to walk us through some things. Marv, we'll get to you shortly because I know there's some things you want to say and there's some things we want to ask you. But Giyu, we got to go to you first. Why on earth did you pick Feng Shui Beta? Why did you stick with it, the V-Trigger 2?
What I found out with the way that I play, because I tried to teach myself to be a little bit more defensive, okay. Even though like I'll go a little bit for throw baits, and Marv is very good at throwing that in the mix of it all. So I was like, you know what? Maybe if I play off the back foot, maybe I just need to play off the back foot, and maybe V-Trigger 2 can play to my advantage. And so that's what's been the case, and honestly, in a lot of matchups, a lot of different matchups. Now, granted, Karen, she's not really meter hungry per se, and so she doesn't need it. But she's to me, she's that much more dangerous with it. And so if I play that strategically, then I can put it into a situation to where it might be more favorable. Even though Jury's V-Trigger 1 works perfectly fine, if not more preferred.
Wait, so hold on. Let's take a couple steps back there. You don't think Karen's meter hungry? Not in a similar sense to like say Colleen, but you don't think
or Bison, right? Right.
I don't know. There was a couple of combos that Marv were doing that used bar that killed you or got him out of the corner.
And it was down to
that's
that.
True. That's absolutely true. But like for example, what I realized is that when when I play against Bison,
Yeah.
when I play against Bison, like Bison kind of has to rely on it to an extent. Especially if you're patient and you play defensive minded and you don't get opened up, then that's the probably the distinct difference. And it could be minute. It could be really minute in that situation. But yeah, that like for me against Marv, for example, that has worked better for me than V-Trigger 1. It just with me, with the way that my play style, the way that I play.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And just to go back to Vegi's question, he said, do you use both? Or is it predominantly V-Trigger 2?
Yeah, I mean, I can use V-Trigger 1, but I glided away, kind of glided away from V-Trigger 1. I think solely because I think about how long the game has been. We've been playing it for a while, right? And so it's like, okay, well,
I mean, I have. I don't think you have. The way you said it, you've been playing it for like a year and a half. I've been playing.
Well, true. Well, that's like more of a competitive, like on a competitive. But like before that though, like I always play bitch. Matter of fact, and for the half of up until maybe the I would say the second quarter of 2021, or third quarter is when I went to V-Trigger 2, and I always give him credit because I gotta give a shout out to Clegg Madness, because he the one that kind of, I call him, he doesn't think so, he's like the jury leader when it comes to the V-Trigger 2, but he
pioneer,
kind of the pioneer, absolutely. Yeah. And so I was like, you know what, Clegg might be on to something, because I found it really useful in some matchups. So I kind of just stuck with it from there.
Fair. Now, there was something that really intrigued me, because again, Giyu, you probably know this. You're probably laughing at everyone who doesn't know about the V-Trigger. There's like little to no information on it. So I think you taught us like a fair bit of new things regarding this V-Trigger, because I don't know if you've seen the V-Trigger when it released in 2018. Yes. Did you see it? Now, again, for those of you who don't know, before V-Trigger 2 was introduced, they actually, I think it was on a Capcom blog, they basically gave you a description of what these V-Trigger were going to do. Now, Jury's one actually sounded amazing on paper, but when it came out, it was far from it. And then over time, it was just building up to doing something decent. Do you think this is a decent V-Trigger now? Or is it still very specific? What's your opinion?
I think, especially in certain matchups, I think it's kind of cheap, actually.
Okay, I mean, you are stealing something, so
you're stealing something. But if you guys notice, it gets a little. You kind of force the player to make a decision.
Yes.
When they're in the corner, and then you got let's say if you have the advantage, right, and you got them in the corner, you have V-Trigger, you activate on hit or something like that, or even just raw activate and they block it. That puts them in the world of confusion, especially when things are on the line, right? And so it gets what I notice is that it can put players, and unless they're mentally like solid, it can put them in a state of panic. And I'm like, well, this is great for me, and so I can kind of look to capitalize on certain things in those sweaty situations.
Okay, no, because I think there's one thing I definitely noticed early on. There were situations where you'd activate the V-Trigger. It was kind of a neutral situation, a stalemate, but you'd kind of walk into ranges where you'd allowed Marv to press a button, but nothing really happened from that button press, but you're still stealing meter. I thought that was genius. Right. I don't know if that was intentional. Or,
that's intentional.
Okay, then that's genius. You're the greatest man on this planet. But I just thought that looked amazing. It's like, oh, okay, he's just walking in there. It's like, nothing's going to happen, but I'll still take the meter from you. And I think one of my biggest issues with this trigger is, like, I'm watching a combo of you do it now. You activate, you do a combo, you're technically stealing meter, but because the opponent's getting hit, there's a clash going on with the meter. Is it going to steal it? Is it going to take it away? And then there's the fact, of course, there's some moves now where they give the opponent more meter on the hit depending on what you do. So I kind of feel there's a lot of things that go against the grain of what this V-Trigger 2 is supposed to really do. But the fact that you've made it work, even with I think your stand light kick activation, your stand jab activations, those are pretty good because it's a fixed combo after that. So I think you've really kind of optimized it or nailed how it should be working in a sense. I know we've only seen it in one matchup, of course, but like again, that was a great showcase of how that V-Trigger 2 is not complete booty butt cheeks. in my opinion. Anyway.
I got a question.
Oh, please go for it.
So, I kind of wanted to have both of your opinion on the matchup in general, and we can start off from Marv this time. What do you think about the matchup in general, and do you have like gripes or anything
Careful,
else to
because
share?
I think a 2,000-word essay is coming from him.
Well, I want to hear that essay. Have it on my desk on Monday.
I think the matchup, I think it's pretty evenish. I think Karen has normals that can contest with Jury. I think over the recent time, Jury has gotten a lot better. I never thought she was bad, honestly. I thought the player base just wasn't, I don't want to say they were bad, but they just didn't know how to use her. You know, so what?
Listen. Let me before you continue that. Once upon a time, we had a play on here, and he said when Brian F and Broski existed, he said there was no good Aura players, and we moved on. I mean, I know you don't have any malicious intent behind it. But we've had this situation before where a character you feel you see the potential, but you feel like that someone hasn't reached that potential or found what it is.
Right.
Is that what you're saying, Marv?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, like
obviously it's different. Obviously, it's different now, but
yeah, it's like with Myron. You know, people didn't think V-Trigger 2 was good. I thought V-Trigger 2 was an amazing V-Trigger. Always, because I think it completely can disrupt your game plan, like your comeback potential. You know what I'm saying? You know, Karen is big on comeback because her super does a lot of damage. You know, so I never thought Jury was ever a bad character, but the matchup I think is pretty evenish. I think Karen has good tools against her. Like it's the same thing. Like one confirm, you know, now you got to guess between throw and this and that, and I can go for strike, throw, like area. It's just same old, run my Karen stuff. But for me, it's like I have to know, because I'm big on spacing, so I have to know what normals can potentially come towards my way and how I can contest it. Because I think Jury may have maybe the slight edge on a normal fight, you know, because she has stand heavy kick, you know, stand medium kick has been a problem for a while now. You know, I see people complain about it all the time. Her low forward is pretty good too. So, and I think to stop Karen, I think the main thing is like if you stop her from walking, then you can pretty much go from there because she needs to walk. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she can use her low forward, stand strong, stuff like that. So, but yeah.
Okay, like just to go back to something you mentioned about the V-Trigger, you feel it can disrupt the game plan. I do agree with you there, but my question to you is, do you think the V-Trigger 2 from Jury, does it consistently do that? Or is it kind of like you really got to pick and choose? Because to me, that's not like that's not a G V-Trigger ruining your day. That's not a Seth V-Trigger 2 ruining your day. Like, it can disrupt it, but in a first to 10... Like, it's okay, in the first 10 it's a bit different because we saw it almost every round, or maybe twice a round from Giyu. Do you think in a first to 2, maybe a first to 3 format, that V-Trigger could still work in terms of disruption, Marv?
Yeah, I actually think, I think so. First to 3, yeah. I think it'd be viable. I mean, it's just like, because when she activates, like, she's slowly draining your meter, so you kind of got to know at where in the match do you want to like actually stop her or keep her away from her, or are you cool with her being close? You know what I'm saying? To drain your meter, because you know, like he mentioned Bison earlier. I think Bison, he kind of needs his meter to actually put up a fight. You know, he's a resource management character. So it's just kind of mind game. That's a mind game V-Trigger. I think fighting Jury is like a mini game in neutral most of the time too. So that kind of throws it in there too. I
don't think I've ever heard anyone go into depth talking about Jury like that. Fighting Jury is a mini game. They usually complain about one particular button and call it a day.
No. Especially with V-Trigger 2. Especially with V-Trigger 2, like depending on where you are in the match, you kind of got to pay attention. Like what's the good approach here now? Like what should I do? Like for me, I play Karen. So if he misses the activation, I'm just V reversal. Like get away from me, bro. Get away. Like I don't want to deal with this. No, I need my meter. You know. I kind of have to fight her out. Like, you see me do stand medium kick a lot. Like, just keep her back. Like a stand heavy kick, just keep her back. I need my meter, you know?
Okay. So, great. That was a great in-depth explanation from the both of you regarding that feature. That's fantastic. Veggie, you noticed something you wanted to bring up. It was something important. I can't remember.
This was more about, like, because I noticed, Marv, that you hit a lot of, like, you were very consistent confirming with stand medium punch, stuff like that. But when it came to crouch medium kick, you had the hits and everything stopped up for a second. And I was wondering, did you play on hitbox now? And are you struggling with getting the crouch medium kick confirms on hitbox?
Yeah, I've been trying to get better at it. Yeah, that's what's going on. I switched to hitbox back in like October. You know, Doc, he gave me a hitbox, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna learn hitbox. So I've been trying to like stick with it, like, you know, just play it consistently. Go ahead.
Do you have any idea of what it is you're missing from that input that consistently that makes it not come out?
Well, the big problem I'm having right now is not releasing. When I go down to down forward, I may release down too quick and just go forward, and then I don't get the full motion.
Okay, so it comes out as down forward, and you press the button, and what? It's only the button coming out, Beggy. Is that right? I'm looking at it,
he's in hit stun, so nothing comes out.
Yeah, if I'm picturing it as on the input display on the game, you just see down and forward. That's it, right? You don't see the in between. Is that right?
Yeah, but I go from
down, forward, and no forward.
Is that okay?
I missed the down. I missed the down, like going down forward. I don't get the down forward
right.
input.
Okay. Yeah. So he's missed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't get. I release it too quickly, and then I just go to forward, and then the confirm doesn't come out.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
And again,
because I noticed that quarter circle forward inputs and quarter circle backs definitely didn't feel like you could do as fast as regular stick, while DPs were a lot faster. In my opinion, that's how it feels when I play Hitbox. So.
Yeah, and that's another problem I'm having right now, and I'm trying to figure out is DPs, trying to get DPs down consistently, because I did play Luke, and I think you need to learn how to DP if you're going to play that character. So right now I'm just trying to get that down, learning DPs and stuff. But I really like the improvements I've made in the short time I've been playing Hitbox. So
yeah, there was a lot of opportunities that could have been huge if that was there, right? So it's like learning pains maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up. I was just like, I lost, I can't. Okay. I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Let me tell you something that this is mainly that Veggie notices this, and this is like super important for anyone doing commentary, just watching these games in general. There's certain techniques or there's certain combos that people do or they don't do, and one of the things Veggie identifies is I wonder what they're playing on, because he had switched to Veggie. What's it called? Snackbox? Was it Snackbox?
Yeah, Snackbox.
Yeah, because he switched to Snackbox for a short period of time before he's moving back to stick, right? It's like, okay,
I played for 8 months.
He had the same issues.
Yeah.
So if he's seeing that you are, because I found it weird. I was like, hang on, you're super consistent with stand medium punch into Tenko, but you can't do it from the infamous crouch medium kick. Something isn't adding up there. So the fact that he's brought that up, the fact that he's brought that up is like, okay, it's not even that, oh, you're just missing it. What's the problem? It's like, okay, let me find out if it's the controller and you're still in the phase of learning it, as opposed to, nah, you just can't do it. Because we do know a couple of players that cannot do it. There's a difference.
Yeah. but you had all the standing confirms like consistently down.
Yeah. I noticed. I'm still working on it though. It's all a process.
Definitely. For sure.
I thought I did good today. I mean, the big moments I missed. Yeah, but in the match I wasn't trying to think about that. I was like, okay, just go into the next match and you'll get it next time. Sure. Yeah, man.
Nah, really good stuff there. Now, there was another question I wanted to ask you, Marv, as well. It was something you were super consistent at doing in terms of gaining damage, and that was whiff punishing a whiffed throw. Pretty much 90% of the time. Is that something you're naturally accustomed to now? Is this something that you've been practicing for a little while, that you've been purely reacting to whiff throws with the stand medium punch cancelling into the Tenko for Karen? Sorry.
So we call it a defensive shimmy. So it's just like when you just so when you think, like, it's kind of like in the moment kind of thing. Like if you think, okay, they're finna walk up, try to throw you. Because I noticed my Giyu, there was times he would like reset his pressure and then like try to walk up and throw me. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just pick a moment where I think I can just take a step back, and if he whiff throws, then I'm just gonna do my stand medium punch. I think stand fierce can be a little too slow. I gotta really be paying attention. So I just go for stand strong. And so yeah, I call it a defensive shimmy. I learned it like as I was getting better at the game back a couple years ago. So yeah, I take a step back and hit stand strong.
Okay. No, that's actually really good. Again, because I know a lot of people react to throws now, but I think the situations you were doing it, I was like, dude, like if there's 1 point of damage or 1 avenue of damage, he's getting it super consistent. It's there. So that's just making Giyu not want to throw you. There was times where I felt Giyu should have thrown you more, but there are times when he's walking up, you're walking backwards, and you got super consistent. I think at times you didn't have the bar because obviously he nicked it from you. How rude of him. But yeah, no, you're super consistent with that. But then let me go back to Giyu. Giyu, what's your general thought process when you go up against kind of like footsie-based characters with Jury, with this V-trigger? Because I remember you mentioned before you're more of a defensive kind of player. Is that what you do? Do you ever feel you need to be overzealous, be over-aggressive against anyone? Or do you think this style you've built and developed is the most consistent thing you can do across the board?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely times where I need to be more aggressive versus more passive aggressive. For instance, whenever Marv would make adjustments, and I have to make a decision to be like, okay, well, he's starting to pressure me more, so now it's my turn. I need to gain back the momentum. And so that's when I'll become a little bit more aggressive and start going for more throws. Or then if he starts walking back, which is literally what happened you guys saw what happened in the last game, to where I was going for a grab, but I noticed that Marv he might walk back. So once I saw it, I was like, okay, well, here's the time for low forward into super. And so it's times like those, especially, we all know how important it is to not get pushed to the corner, even though sometimes it can be hard. But if you notice the situations when it's happening, then you definitely know when to switch it up to where I can play off my back foot, or you can go for throws and maybe pressure a little bit more.
Okay. Again, because your jury is much different to what I'm normally used to seeing.
Yeah.
Of course, with the V system layout as well, or V trigger layout. And then there was something else you were very brazen doing. You were very confident waking up with your throw invincible move. Half the time you got CA, and other times you didn't get the CA. Was the times you didn't get the CA, were you still buffering it, or were you just not sure then?
Yeah, no, I was buffering. Yeah.
Okay. Now, is this when you? Let me ask you this, because you were super consistent doing it today. When you wake up with the throw invincible move, the general thing is you are confident your opponent's going to throw you. But the amount of times you did it, I'd say you'd have a 60, maybe 65% success rate on that. Is that because you were going up against Marv, or you usually playing like that? Do you have a very good gut feeling as to when someone's going to throw you?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah. I've done it several times, honestly. And when I do things like that, and and if I can get a feel for what my opponent is trying to do, then why not throw it in? Because it's something that the opponent now has to account for, right? Even though it makes them afraid, it makes them afraid to go for throws if they're trying to pressure me into maybe a wake up. EXDP or something like that. I don't know, but I like that as a threat and to help them to try to stay honest. And then we got the V Trigger 2 situation. So
I mean, like, I think a lot of the guys in the chat noticed that you almost had CA almost every round.
Oh yeah.
1 or 2 rounds you didn't have it, but it's like you're always consistent by saving that bar. I mean, Jury does spend bar. I'm not sure if she's super liberal with it, but I think the way you were preserving it is similar to we have a Seth player in Europe here called Mr. Wolf. How he's developed his understanding with Seth is he conserves his bar, especially against zoners. So he just has one big fat CA combo ready and waiting. I don't know if you feel something similar, or have a similar strategy with that with Jury, or do you feel there's other characters you'll splurge the Vita on, Giyu?
Yeah, there's a certain amount of characters that I will splurge the meter on, especially if they throw out enough buttons to where maybe I can whiff punish it, or just punish it for the move being negative. So it definitely depends, but most of the time I'm definitely going to use V Trigger 2 as my premise for any and everything.
Okay, I like it.
When it just because I like to see I like to see what type of reaction that the opponent will give. See, Marv knows, and so it's like, and he's ready for it. He knows, Dr. African knows, Nigel knows, anybody that I played a lot consistently knows. Shout out to Espada again. Because he knows. They all know.
I mean, no, to me, you sound like a player where you're like, damn, I'm aching to go somewhere where somebody does not know what this trigger is like.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it sounds like to me. It's like if you were able to go to maybe you come down to Europe one time, or you go over to Asia, you enter a bracket, you're like, yep, I'm picking V-Trigger 2, and nobody has a flipping clue how this thing works.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the master plan. That is the master plan. I like it. I like it a lot. And so, and again, like even though it's kind of it's different from V-Trigger 1, like I've had a lot of fun with just experimenting with V-Trigger 2. Over this, since it came out. So, it's been great.
Okay, fair.
Can I just get it clear? So you activate V-Trigger 2, you get one mix-up, and then all it does is drain bar. There's nothing else to it?
Yeah, well, you get the corner carry too.
More corner carry?
Yeah.
On combos?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, why?
With the V-Trigger 2, I like getting the corner carry if it's possible, because the screen situation where you're at on the screen is such a huge deal while that's active, and so the less space that they have to move back, the more I can impose it. Earlier when Jammer said that he liked the way that I would go in and out. That's all a part of it. Because now it puts them in, it pressures them more than it pressures me. Like, yeah, I'll let this run out as long as I take if I'm able to take one bar, or at least almost one bar, mission accomplished. Especially if it's in a crucial moment, which is where I love where that V-Trigger comes in to thrive at. It's in those ending round situations.
So it also fills it fills all of your charges, so that you can do longer combos.
I think is it just on hit, Giyu? When you activate on hit, it gives you all these swords. So does it do it on block as well?
Yeah, it does on block as well.
Oh,
okay. So that is kind of okay. Because it sounds so little to just get
trust
one
me.
mix-up
I promise you, it's because barely anyone used it. Becky, if you asked anybody else but Giyu, what does V-Trigger 2 do? They go like, yeah, it steals your meter. That's it.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, that's
so now we know.
It's like, bro, I tell you, it steals meter in this situation. It's like,
I have a V-skill question. I have a V-skill question as well, because you use V-skill 1 and you hit it 66% of the time. 2 out of 3 times, which was great for the times you hit it. But since it got that little utility, can you get more out of using the other V-skill, or is it just not?
It's more of a frame trap thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I've played against Marv so many times. That's typically what I pick, and so this was definitely a player thing because Marv doesn't go for any of that. I'm like, this is useless. Let's just scrap.
Okay.
No, okay, that's fine. Marv, let me ask you this as well. You start with Karen the whole way through. Did you ever feel at one point you wanted to swap to Luke, or did you were just going to ride it out with Karen the whole way?
Well, I did. I thought about it. I was like, I should just might as well play this character. I mean, he's easy. I know how to do everything. I know how to DP.
Hold on. Wait. You might have to repeat that first part for the people at the back. What did you say Luke was? Was it easy?
Easy. Luke is easy. Luke is easy. No.
Okay, but sorry to interrupt, but what made you you definitely thought that you should switch, but what made you stick though?
Okay. So I just felt like I'd learned so much with Karen as far as matchups and stuff. So it was just the experience throughout time when I just played Karen. And when she got nerfed, I thought, people thought that she was not viable. And I was like, I don't think so, bro. So I just stuck with her, and it still worked out for me. Like I said, I made Grand Finals in the Second World Warrior. So I don't think she's bad at all. I think she's still viable. She's still strong. So I just stuck it out with her. And go ahead.
No, please finish that. Finish your point. No, go on, finish your point. That's fine. I'll wait.
Oh, okay. I thought you was fine. But there will be moments where I do switch to Luke. Like if I feel like my strategy against G doesn't work, I'll switch to Luke.
Okay.
Or my strategy against, well, of course, I should already pick him against Birdie. If my strategy against Birdie doesn't work, I'm gonna probably try Luke. I would say there's definitely moments where I was like, okay, well, I just want to avoid some of the struggles I'm dealing with playing there, so I'm gonna just play Luke.
Okay. Sorry. What I was gonna say before is I think a lot of characters are overshadowed by Luke now. There isn't like a true problem. Well, obviously they have their issues, but it's not as bad as you'd think it would be because again, It pegs the question. It's why play Karen when Luke's there? Why play Akira when Karen's there? Then it just goes back to why play Karen when Luke's there. It just loops into itself, and it's like it's not a super big issue. It's just a question. It's like, okay, you're trying to, because Street Fighter 5, they did this incredibly well, by the way. It's very obvious. You divide the characters up into archetypes, and then there's this one character in that archetype that's clearly a cut above the rest. So you're like, okay, why are we going to play that character? Outside of clear combo distinctions, or maybe their V-triggers are just worlds apart. Which is a shame, because it's, again, look, it's a common factor. You don't main Luke, but you've got Luke in your arsenal, right? Over here in EU, like, Phenom played Karen for a substantial amount of time, and all of a sudden he picked a blonde guy instead of a blonde woman. I wonder how that happened. Like, you know what I mean? So it's that there's just more firepower on the table, and I never blame the players for that. They're trying to again, they're trying to compete, they're trying to win, and if someone gives you a double barrel and then a grenade launcher sitting next to you, I think I know what I'm going to go for. That's it. But no, it's just a curious thing. But you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Someone told me Luke is like giving a mortal, a weapon that can kill gods. so I just thought that was funny. Well, that was before the nerfs.
I mean, Luke's still pretty damn decent with even with these nerfs. So.
But I think it's just an interesting little side note, because he said he would automatically pick Luke against Birdie, right? But if I run into a Karin/Luke player and he picks Luke, I feel like I'm blessed, because I find it so much easier to beat Luke than to beat Karin with Birdie. So it's all perspective as well. What people like to fight, what they're comfortable about doing. The thing I think with Luke, what people forget is that he's stuck there. He's slow. He needs to open you up. He has great tools to open you up, but he has to get those hits completely honest, in my opinion. They're great. The reward might not be honest, but the way he opens you up is a lot more honest than a lot of characters that are weaker than him, if you understand what I mean. So it's more comfortable, I think, to play against, even though Luke is stronger, maybe, obviously stronger than Karin. I still find it like more comfortable to fight him, because he's slow. He's stuck there.
Okay. No, that's an interesting way of putting it.
I want to put one more thing in, and I think you see the best players learn how to beat some of the best characters in the game too. And that's what I also like try to think about when I see these characters like on the main stage at these tournaments. Like at one point, I think a lot of people say like Rashid was really, really good, but oftentimes you didn't really see Rashid a lot at like top 8. You'll see him sometimes, but not a lot, in my opinion at least. But so I would tell like Espada, I would say you see the best players learn how to fight the best characters. Like they're gonna grind these matchups out because they know these characters are a problem. You get what I'm saying? So I thought when Luke came out, I just thought it was the same thing, like because he was such a great character.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people just grinded out the character, like learned everything they could about him. That's why you see some of the like best players not really like getting completely dismantled by them.
No, they're not phased, because I think it's okay when everyone can come together and agree on there's a problem character. Like we all figure it out. Like, look, you can find your top tier players, your world class players, to your average Joe, like El Fuete's mum 69 or whatever you want to call her. And then even he can beat a Luke, because it's like, okay, everyone knows this character's a problem, as opposed to Rashid. Rashid's a little bit more of an enigma. Like he's still annoying, and Rashid's fallen on that character archetype. Not everyone gravitates towards him. But we know he's a problem. And then it's a case where it's like, hang on. It's like you're super consistent as the best character in the game, but there's still one or two you should be understanding really well. But it all comes down to experience, because look, I'm going to be honest with you, Marv. Like the Cup's coming up soon. We're going to talk about that very shortly. The Cup's coming up soon. Someone is going to get swerved by a Vega. Someone. If anyone wants to place a couple of Benjamin Franklins on that, I reckon somebody is going to get swerved by a Vega at the Cup.
A kiss from a rose.
And it's literally going to be, it's like, hang on, we've been messing around with, we've been practicing as Luke at the highest level, and then all of a sudden the Vega comes out of nowhere and he just beats you. And you're like, whoa, because I don't know if you guys remember, Vega, you might remember, who was the guy that beat Tokido in the first Cup? What was his name? He's from the DR.
It's a clone player from DR.
He's from DR. I can't remember his name.
All right.
No, it wasn't Doomsnake.
And his name is John.
Dude, the guy rinsed him. Obviously, that was a different time, but I'm just saying, it's like Vega was there, and it's like, hold on, was it DRA? Okay, it was. It was DRX.
I think it was. Yeah.
I've been watching some of these players, and there's Vegas in the cup. And look, Veggie, even you, Mags, and ROF, shouts to ROF. I'm like, listen, I'm watching. I think some of these guys actually might get a Luke player. Like, you actually might get them in that sense. It's like, whoa. Like, this is going to be... It's going to be interesting how this cup's going to work. But, yeah, before we move on to that, there's a question I want to ask you both. Now, Giyu, I know you strictly played Jury, and we're basically in the closing stages of Street Fighter V. But let's say hypothetically there was one more year of Street Fighter V. Is there any character that's tickled your fancy that you wanted to learn, but you feel you just didn't have the time to put into, or are you just been completely satisfied with Jury?
I think that's a great question. Yes, for one, I have been completely satisfied with Jury, so I can't. There's no cap there. But I did think about playing a few characters actually.
Talk to me. Give me the names. Give me the names.
So there's Mika.
Wow.
Balrog.
Balrog.
Oh, look at the disdain on your voice. It's like, damn, bro, you a hater?
Balrog? Like what?
Balrog.
Okay. Yeah. Mika, Balrog. Anybody else?
Geef.
Wow, you really wanted to go down.
Man of culture.
You're gonna love Geef.
The minions approve. The minions approve.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Geef. I love watching really strong Geef players. Like, it's always a sight to behold. I'm just like, wow. Like,
wait. I think you missed the end of that sentence. You love strong Geef players suffering. Is that what you meant to?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought you didn't finish that sentence.
No, I mean, because the decision making that they have to have and the certainty and the reactions with SPD, because I'm terrible at SPDs, and so I'm like, yeah.
Okay, fair. No, that was. I wouldn't expect a Jury player to name those three characters.
For sure.
You could see his gameplay.
No, for me, it really sounded like he had the easy option in life, but he went to Jury with all those picks. He had the choice, and he went the other way.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with Jury. So in Street Fighter, when I played Street Fighter 4, I actually played Guy, Rose, and I played Jury at near the end of the game, and I promised myself I would play Jury in 5. So
okay, well, hey man, it's turned out for the better. Marv, what about you? If you had, I know you got Akira, Luke, and Karen, but if there was one more year and you had a little bit more time, is there any character you really wanted to, like, you've been watching, like, damn, I really wish I had the time, or there was another competitive season for me to go at it with this character? Or are you satisfied with your roster?
Yeah, that's a character I would love to play. You know,
talk to me.
Jury.
Okay.
Jury. I've been thinking about playing Jury for a while. You know, I think her stand medium kick is really good. I think her low forward is really good. And like I said, I'll be running V Trigger 2 like Myron if I play Jury.
Ask that. Damn.
Yeah, I would be running V Trigger 2. I would not be running V Skill 1. I think Jury's like the dash with it. That's all nice and things, but if I'm taking your meter, I'm, like I said, that disrupting the game plan thing.
Yeah,
you know.
Okay, there's two ways you can look at it, right? Obviously, for you guys, especially the way both you have kind of your perspective on Jury's V Trigger 2, because I think because Giyu's such a specialist with it, I think you guys are going to have a sharper perspective against the rest of the scene internationally. If you look at it from an objective standpoint, it's like this doesn't do enough of what you need to do in Street Fighter 5. The damage isn't there. The scaling on combos is a bit too high. You're draining meter, but half the guys don't have the patience to understand what draining meter actually means. It doesn't do anything, right? And then when you've already got a fast dash, and then the V Trigger 1 slightly increases the dash even further, and then you can literally press stand medium kick with even more malicious intent and chain it. I think that's more appealing to somebody who needs get rich quick scheme, as opposed to right.
Yeah, I got you. I get you. So you think
V Trigger 2 is an investment. That's an investment. That's not like we need to get the job done now. Yes, don't get me wrong. There's optimization behind V Trigger 1, and if you want to play Street Fighter 5 at certain aspects of the game, V Trigger 1 is probably the better pick. With how you guys are looking at it and how Giyu plays, it's like, okay, I can see where this is coming from. But let's say you had a tournament in 2 days. That's gonna take 2 weeks. You're not going to get the V Trigger 2 is not going to give you what you want in the next 2 days. It takes a little bit.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Do you see my point?
Yeah, I see your point. So you're thinking like what I'm thinking is like more of a tournament mindset. You know, it's like it's not gonna V Trigger 2 would probably wouldn't be more viable for a 1st to 2 setting. V-Trigger 1, you kind of pick up on the habits and know where to use it since you get such a boost in movement, normal stuff like that. So
and look, in a game where dashing is prominent and that V-Trigger, like I said, similar to the Kali, it extends the range and it still surprises a dude. So I'd take my chances, mate. Because look, there were times where Giyu dashed and you checked him a fair number of times. I'm like, well, if he had V-Trigger 1, it probably would have surprised you a little bit more. And there was a time where he could have killed you if he used V-Trigger 1, because he pressed stand medium kick and that was it. No cancel, nothing. Just tumbleweed after the stand medium kick. And I was like, well, I said if he had V-Trigger 1, he might be able to win that round. But here we are. Yeah. But no, that's just how I see it anyway. Now, of course, Veggie, have you got any other Street Fighter 5 related questions before we move on to Street Fighter 6? Or you want to?
I'm good.
There was something when you were talking and I wanted to interject or whatever it's called, but I forgot what it was right now because we've been like involved in this continuation of the story.
I mean, listen,
I don't know. I feel really bad because it was very important to me.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come back randomly, and then he's gonna ask it. Well, he'll remember. This is what happens when you say silly things before the start of the show and you forget. Anyway. Right, now, gentlemen, let's just clear things up. Did you guys play the Street Fighter 6 beta back in December?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Right, Giyu, I'm going to ask you first. I'm going to presume you played Jury in the beta.
Of course.
Perfect. Right, so I played a little bit of Jury myself, but I want to hear it from an actual Jury specialist in 5. What are your thoughts on Jury, and then what are your overall opinions on Street Fighter 6?
I think as far as Yuri goes, I think she's great again. But I love the combination that she has with the mixture of Street Fighter 4 as well. And so yes, if she had, because at first I was like, I don't know, like I really miss my EX flip kick to get around fireballs or or whatnot. But because of the system changed with the drive impact.
Yeah.
It can. It's a great substitution for it, and so I don't necessarily need those things. But I like how many routes that she has, given different situations to go into to combos and everything. And so I think in Street Fighter 6, especially for high level play, is probably going to be the most competitive that I've ever seen.
Since Street Fighter 4 or in general?
Yeah, and probably in general.
I'm going to hold you to that because obviously a lot of us came through in the Street Fighter 4 era.
Right.
Street Fighter 5, the first EVA had over 5,000 entrants. So if Street Fighter 6 can top that, I'll bite my tongue. Interesting. I don't think I've heard anyone say that. That's interesting. Okay, no, I agree with that. Have you got any hopes and concerns for Street Fighter 6 as a whole, Giyu?
That's a great question. Well, and that's only because this is the beta, so we don't even know what'll be changed about time the actual release of the game happens, because it was the same thing with Street Fighter 5. Like I kind of hate that Ryu was changed and Chun was changed. Some of their normals was changed so much, but I get it too because they're also catering to trying to cater to a new demographic to get it into the game, which is what's the thing called the simple. There's the simple and then the modern
controls and classic.
Modern controls and classic, and so it caters to both the technical players and the newer players, and so I think that's going to give the game a lot of interest just generally, and with the way that everything is looking like, especially like the graphics and everything, like it's looking really good. So the only thing I would probably say my biggest concern is like some of the movement feels a little bit
slow.
Yeah,
Okay.
It feels a little bit slow, maybe blocky, but I'm hoping that that it's just a beta thing, and it'll be ironed out when it's finished.
Okay, well, there's still got a bit of time, at least from the. Shouts to the production team. There's development footage that's out on the YouTube channel that you can go and see. It's from the look of things. Things are smoothing out, and they got more than enough time to polish things. So good things are coming on the way. Now, Marv, what about you? Who did you play in the beta, and have you got any hopes and concerns for Street Fighter 6?
Well, in the beta, I mostly played Ken.
Okay.
I thought the beta was pretty good. I plan on playing a lot of other characters because, like I said, I played Karen because I thought I liked her character. But I don't really see that out of the cast yet of Street Fighter 6. So I'm just gonna play a multitude of characters and learn them. And that's another thing I didn't do in this game. I didn't play enough characters. Like I played 3 characters. No, I didn't play enough characters in this game. So I want to play a variety, selection of characters in Street Fighter 6.
Marv, you sound like a very ambitious man. I can't even handle one. Like, how are you talking about I didn't play enough?
Me neither.
Yeah.
I actually have a question regarding character picks in general. So, obviously, during the beta, you got a chance to test some of the characters. So, out of the other confirmed characters, who are you most interested in right now?
I'm interested in Ken. I'm gonna play him more when the game comes out.
Okay.
I'm gonna play DJ. I think he looks dope.
Yeah, you don't want any friends. Nah, you don't want any friends.
Hey, it be like that sometimes.
Listen, you play fighting games to ruin the other guy's day. You don't, you don't. Anyway, sorry, please continue.
I'm trying to cook.
Hold on, let him cook.
Yeah. So I plan on playing DJ. I think Lily was her name. Lily. Kind of the successor to T-Hawk or something like that.
Okay.
I think that was her name. Who else? I actually want to try out Ed too. He wasn't mentioned.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe not. It's fine.
Who else did I see? Well, those are the characters I want to try out mainly. Ken. DJ and Lily.
Ken, DJ, and Lily. Okay. Well, yeah. I can tell by your roster you are going to have a fantastic time ruining everyone's day in tournament. I can literally just tell him, Marv, he wants to be a great player, and he wants to sit on the podium by himself. Like that. No, I respect it. That's it. I respect it. Giyu, what about you? Is there anyone that's not that hasn't been, on the roster, the initial roster, that you're interested in outside of Jury, or are you just going to stick out with Jury again?
I'm actually looking at Kimberly, because as I mentioned before in Street Fighter 4, I play Guy. He was like my main in Street Fighter 4. So Kimberly has a great mix of Guy and Ibuki.
Wow. So you don't find friends either.
It's all about that. It's to experience loneliness at the top. Well, a lot of us don't get to experience that, but we might as well make a run for it, right?
Wow. Man, that was well articulated. I love that. Now, regarding another question regarding SF6, right? So obviously, Marv, I've got here, you made it 9th on the World Warrior leaderboards, as I mentioned before. Giyu, I think you came 13th in your respective region. Good stuff there. I'm lucky not to get to the regional final of the both of you. When Street Fighter 6 releases, if we were to get a competitive season within an announcement for a competitive season was to come within the first couple of months or so, like another CPT comes back for Street Fighter 6, do you think the World Warrior program should return, or do you think it should be abolished? Giyu, you first.
That's a great question. I'm going to say that I think it should stay, and the only reason why is because I know when it comes to actually going out to tournament and events, and just with the FGC, the good people of the FGC, sometimes it's rough to get out to things, in real life, and so and a lot of good players I've discovered just through in the midst of the pandemic and everything. I discovered there's a lot of great players, just in America, just to say the least. But then that shone light onto Europe and in Asia, and so I'm just like, wow, like I don't think I ever would have been this tuned in if that wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Okay. So I think from that perspective, I really like that because it gives everybody an opportunity.
Okay,
to a
fair
good
play.
extent.
And you keep it the exact same with the 5 rankings, the 5 regular tournaments, and the 1 regional final.
Yeah,
okay.
I would. Yeah, I'll keep it the same.
Perfect, perfect. Marv, what about you? Do you share the same sentiment as Giyu, or do you think it should be abolished or change something about it?
No, I'm just with pretty much what he said. I pretty much agree. You know, so I'm just trying to go into 6, like just learning everything and trying to be the best I can be.
Okay. No, again, go on, please.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I like asking people who were involved because again, you guys are right in the neck of things. So it's like, okay, as a competitor, did you feel you had enough time to prepare for each event? Because I think it's 1 tournament a month and then preparation for the regional finals, despite you guys not making it. It's like, did you have enough time? Did you like how the system worked? Because we've had different answers. We've had some people saying the system should change. We've had some people say it's like, oh, okay, if you're at the top of if you were dominant in your region, you shouldn't have to be in the regional final. It should be clear cut that you should just go straight to the final. Because in the UK, ending Walker 105 regional events, why do you have to play in the regional final? Same with Vega Patch and stuff like that. So it's just a couple of things, and I always like to hear people's answers. There are some people like you guys that are like, you know what, like the system the exact same, bring it back, let's run it back again. Obviously with more time and it's more ambition to play this new game, so it's always good. But Marv, please finish what you were saying before.
I really plan on making it far playing Street Fighter 6 because, like I said, I am a good player. I'm just missing experience, man. I wanna play in Capcom Cup, you know. I want to get there, get the experience, so I can be able to play with the highest level of Street Fighter. Because I've been playing this game for a while, and it's like my energy and drive for it just kept going up, man. Because like I keep saying, I'm a good player, man. So like I know I met you at Evo. We talked a little bit. That was just such a great experience. That was my first time going to Evo. I met so many people. I play a lot of games, and I got to interact and actually watch. I think watching the death pool of in the pool is like top 32. You know, you can see the matches on stream, but when you see what's going on, like not on stream, all these matches, it's like a bloodbath, man. And I was like, that was so amazing. So I just want to be a part of that.
I tell you what, because some people are going to be right in the heart of that for the LCQ. Like,
yeah.
So cool.
Marv, you mentioned before, Marv, you are going to the LCQ, right?
Oh yeah, I'm going. I just booked my flight yesterday.
So all right, well done. So yeah, you're going to be right in the nick of things, and I hope you don't bump into any Dalsims.
I hope so. Don't do that, man.
I'm not doing anything. Listen, I don't envy anyone in that LCQ. I'm just like, have fun, because your first round it might be Tokido. Your first round might be Tokido. Is that right? And what I don't want you to do, Marv, I want you to promise me something when you go to LCQ. If you play Daigo, Tokido, whoever, don't you dare say it was an honor to lose to you. Don't you dare. Don't you dare say
the
that.
Classic.
Don't do that. Please don't.
No, I'm going to tell them I'm messing you up next time. Don't worry. That's what I'm telling you.
That's all I want. Anyway, as you can see on screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, the last chance qualifier is happening February 12th and 13th in Burbank, California. Marv has booked his flight. Have you booked yours? There's the link there. You can check it out. There's over 230 players signed up. Marv is in there as well. I'm talking about Marv. Giyu, are you going? Are you going to the LCQ? Mm-hmm. You are going.
I'm the one that was trying to get Marv to go.
Oh!
Yo.
Wait. No, hold on. You look like one of them brothers. Let me ask you this. Did you want Marv to go because you wanted to play, or you like, yeah, Marv go so we can split the hotel room? You look like one of them brothers. Don't worry, listen. I've been around with people that travel and they're like, yeah, come this country. Why? I just need someone to split the hotel room. It's a bit expensive, isn't it?
That's a perfectly valid reason.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true. Well, not only because of that, but because he's a great player. And it's like I've been, you know, like in his corner for years actually, because I'm just like, man, like, yeah, just get out there, bro. Like, you know, go to tournaments, like compete, like, you know, if you have the time or make the time and you put it in your schedule, because like everybody needs to see you play because it's insane.
Nah, I like that. Nah, hey, listen, Marv, let me tell you something. You need to cherish this cheerleader called Giyu. You're not gonna find another one like him. you need to cherish this cheerleader.
I love this. Yeah, I love
find someone who talks about you the same way.
Listen,
I like this relationship. This training partner relationship. This is great stuff.
I
want to say, because I'm now riding the emotions too, that I thought you both played amazing. It was a joy to watch the set. It was like neutral based, slow paced with explosions. Super sick set.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed it from start to finish. And I'm excited to watch you both in the LCQ then. So.
Let me say something. So Marvin is my guy, man. Giyu's my guy, man. Like, you know when you're in your scene, you go to your locals, and it's always that one guy that gets super salty. One guy, like he's just throwing tantrums and stuff. Giyu was never like that. This dude will lose, get up, and laugh about it, and just go on about his day. Like he'll be like, good games, just good games. Like, man, oh yeah, good games. Like, bro. I like seeing that, people that are like humble, just coming in and having fun, and for them to play at this like much of a level, that's just really enjoyable for me to see, So it's good seeing Marv make it. It's just a good feeling,
Do you know what, Giyu? You sound like a person who has a lot of patience. I have to respect that because listen. You said you've been playing from SF4. I'm pretty sure you've seen all the stuff. You've been around the block in fighting games. There are some stuff you lose patience for. There are some characters you lose patience for. The fact that Marv is saying you get up and laugh, and you missed out the laughing disgust part. You must have a lot of patience as a person. I've got to respect that. I've really got to respect that. So again, that was fantastic. But yeah, we are running out of time. Is there any other questions I want to ask these guys before I hit them with the final question? Or are we good?
Hit him with the critical art.
All right. What do you think? What were your thoughts? Because you didn't speak about it. What were your thoughts on the drive systems? Did you like them, or was it just okay? Like, what were you guys' thoughts on them?
Giyu, you first.
You first.
Okay, Giyu.
I think it really reminded me of Street Fighter 4, but you get to do more with it. That's what it really reminded me of, which I didn't mind that part. And so I think once everybody gets used to the system, because at first I won't lie, it's like I don't know how I feel. But as I got to play it and I got to see other players play, and I was like, oh okay, I think I get this. I think I could get this. And so, I don't know. Like, I think it's. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. You haven't. Well, the game's not out yet.
Right.
I'm gonna find you in about a year's time. Let's see what you say then. Let's see what you say then. Marv, what about you? Drive system.
I think the drive system. I think it's. We can't just go off two betas and just come up with an opinion, like say it's annoying, it's bad.
Some people come up with tier lists after one.
They had a tier list. They want tier lists.
Yeah, I don't, but I just don't. I just don't go about that, man. This stuff takes time to figure out, Like, of course we don't know yet, Like, if I'm running out of meter, I have no meter, I'm burnout mode. You do a heavy button in the drive rush, and it's like a drive impact, and you get stunned. It's like, yeah, but I think that's where the mind game comes in. You got to make sure you're in the match, you're using your meter effectively, because I think that's what a big part of Street Fighter 6 is. It forces you to play that way, and if you're going to play at a high level, I think that's going to be a big factor. But I don't have a problem with it yet, So I think it's cool. I think it just takes time to figure out.
Okay, so I like it. Very good answer, very open answer to that as well. But yes, gentlemen, we are running out of time, so I'm going to hit you my final question. Now, as you know, with Street Fighter 6, there's been a lot of stuff. It's an actual video game, and I like that. There's tons of features in it. One of them is actual commentators from the community, and of course we have Vicious, James Chen, Tasty Steve, and we actually got an announcement the other day. You must have seen it. It was announced, I don't know if you guys are into wrestling, it was at the WWE, the Royal Rumble. Zelina Vega is now a commentator in Street Fighter 6. So this is going to be interesting. Now, my question is, I like asking it because it did come up when the commentator announcement first came out with Vicious and Aru, or Papa Tiwara from Japan. Now, if you had a choice for DLC commentators, if you could put two of your favorite commentators in Street Fighter 6 as announcers, who would they be? Giyu, you first.
That's a tough question. That's actually, I like so many
I think I've asked you a lot of tough questions today.
Yeah, I think, man, that's a tough one. I'll say this. I'll say, in no particular order.
It doesn't have to be a bit of order. If there's two commentators you want in the game as DLC. Anyone?
Okay, I would probably have to say first is Yipes.
Okay.
And then it would have to be out of Rob TV or you, Jammers.
Oh. I mean, me and Rob could do rock, paper, scissors, if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, that does.
Rob, paper, scissors.
Yeah, because I I think all the like everybody that I said like is very charismatic and very comedic and can get into the depth of the game if they so choose to. I think it's such a good blend. So, but you know, there's other commentators too, like I can't remember Saint Cola. He's not in it.
No.
Yet.
As far as I'm aware, unless Cola's highly so he keep him mad quiet about it. But
I think he would be great too. Yeah, that's.
To be fair, with how he when he's got the rhymes and his bars on point, I think that'd be perfect in Street Fighter 6. I think that'd be perfect in Street Fighter 6. What was it? Chip no dip, meaty no vegan.
It makes me laugh all the time. I'm just like, I know what. Like, how is he doing that?
Oh, don't worry, he's practiced. He's definitely practiced. He's told me. Don't worry, I'll reveal his secrets.
Okay, got it.
Nah, I'm really messing. But no, do you know what? Those are interesting choices. Marv, what about you? You could pick 2 of your favorites to be in the game. Who would you want to be in the game?
He stole my answers. Saint Cola and Rob from.
Okay.
It had to be Saint Cola.
Would you want them as a pair or to come at separate times?
That'd actually be kind of dope. Yeah. You mean like simultaneously in the match?
Yeah. Like, so it's like, okay, yeah. So you had Rob TV and Saint Color commentate your match at the same time. Maybe they might do that as a feature in the future. They might get 2 people.
Yeah, that would be sick. Or like every round type thing. Maybe so. But that does sound sick. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be an interesting idea. It might be a bit too clustered. Maybe if it swapped between Rob TV one round, then you got Saint Color the next. That probably could confuse newer people. Obviously, people in the know. I think it'd be hilarious. Like you'd get Cola did a bunch of lines, and then Rob bounces off those lines in the next round.
Right.
Like, Cola said this. He's like, meat no vegan. What the hell? He doesn't even eat. Like that'd be funny. That'd be pretty interesting. No, I like those answers.
That would be cool.
No, I really like those answers. Fantastic. But you know what, gentlemen, I believe we are just about out of time. Do you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys. I think we could talk to you for another 2 hours if we had the time over here. But it is getting late over here in the UK and in EU for the rest of us. So, Richard, if you mind rolling on the fight card so that people know where to follow these 2 lovely gentlemen. There is their Twitter accounts and their Twitch accounts. Marv might stream in the future. That's all I can promise you. He might stream in the future. He actually came with some legitimate questions. Like I said, Twitch is not for everybody. Everybody advises you to be on the platform, but it's not for everybody. Please remember that. Giyu has a Twitch account as well. He might stream. He might tell you why V-Trigger 2 is absolutely sublime while the rest of us disagree. Yeah, I don't know. It could be that. But yes, please make sure you follow these lovely gentlemen on their social media platforms. And again, I want to give a shout outs to the Midwest scene. Again, you guys come out in droves. Luckily, the Pitchforks didn't come out today. They came out and supported. Listen, I can always trust the Midwest to come out and support their boys. I can always trust them. Listen, they are ride or die people, and I respect it. But yes, gentlemen, this is where I give you the podium to say whatever you want, as long as it's within reason. Marv, is there anyone you'd like to shout out? Anything you want to plug? Anyone you want to thank? It's all yours.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Doc. I'd like to thank Espada, Drew, Wally. All the homies that helped me get better at Street Fighter 5. I always give a shout out to them because I grind the game out with them the most. And shouts out to you and Veggie, putting us on the show, putting me on. So I appreciate that.
No worries, no worries. Giyu, what about you? Is there anyone you'd like to thank? Anyone you want to shout out? Do you want to talk about, douse them a little bit more?
Back off same thing. Pretty much with Marv, because that's the scene in Texas is the one that I came into. So shout out to everyone in Texas. Integra, shout out to you, bro. Sevens, the really exceptional cam player. Shout out to him, and also I got to do this because I am a part of the nation. Shout out to my jury nation. I call it the jury gang. So
wait, there's more than one of you?
Oh yeah,
that's news to me. That's scary. Okay,
it's a nation of us.
Good thing I'm on the other side of the globe. Hey. All right. Oh, do you know what?
Nation is everywhere, though, Jim.
That is true. That's very worrying. Anyway, before I let you 2 gentlemen go, Marv, I got one final question for you.
Yes, sir.
If we had time before the end of Street Fighter 5, do you want a run back with Giyu?
Yes, of course.
It's 10-9, and we usually ask people if it's this close, and it's by a nose hair that the other guy won. Because Giyu, it did look like it was going to slip through your fingers at one point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We will. I'll make a note of this, and we will try to make it happen. I can't make any promises, but we will try and make it happen because it is close. And I think I don't want to leave a bitter taste in your mouth for too long.
Yeah, if you can, I'm down. I want to. Yeah, this is fun.
Giyu, are you up for that as well? If we can do that?
Oh, of course. Now, to be realistic, I mean, he's probably going to bother me at something else to try to make up for it. That's just the way it usually goes. But yeah, absolutely. If the power is let it happen, then absolutely, I'm down for that.
All right, we will see what we can do. All right, gentlemen, we have to close out this show. So when you guys are ready, you can leave the Discord call, and I will message you. Thanking you guys once again for coming on the show once again in a little bit.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, you have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, what a time we had with those guys. Hopefully, you guys at home enjoyed that just as much as we did. Yeah, another set down to the wire, and it was a different philosophy, different strategy from the guys as well. I really respect that. When it's not, when we see a 10-9, that's not something we're normally used to seeing. Okay, we've seen the matchup Karen versus Drury before. I know it's rare nowadays, but the fact that it was Drury v Trigger 2 and a very more, neutral-based kind of methodical strategy with snippets of really pure genius there from Marv. With the consistency of the stand medium punch hit confirms, with punishing throws a lot, how he handled the corner situation. That was a very interesting 10-9 that we've had on the show. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Veggie, I know you were super chuffed about it because it was buttons and what was it?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I say so many things, so...
Well, I'm glad you admitted it.
Sure. But I thought it was an amazing first to 10. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It really got organically hyped towards the end. It wasn't. You didn't have. It's just really exciting, and the way it came down to the last round couldn't have been more beautiful of a first to 10. So I'm just I'm really satisfied. What a great start, or almost start to the week. The week started yesterday. I mean, for some it starts on Sunday. I'm just saying, so it could be the third day. But what a great, whatever start to the weekend or almost start it was, Jammers. Amazing! Let's go!
What a great Tuesday.
He's happy. He just wanted to say what a great Tuesday. What about you? Did you enjoy tonight as well?
I certainly did enjoy. Both of them were really well spoken. It was really lovely to hear their opinions and just the lore behind their scene as well. Just mention of very familiar names to all of us at this point. And also, I gotta agree with Veggie on the set. The end there was definitely an organic crescendo where everything was just building up, and we were getting really hype as well. And it was just so unfiltered and so natural. It felt really great.
Absolutely. I like that you had to come.
It was magic. Take me back.
That you had to come super close to your camera to let everybody know how amazing it was. Anyway, absolutely marvelous stuff from the boys, and shout out to everyone at home and the guys that recommended these two to us as well. Yes, Obaha.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I really did.
I'm really glad because I wanted to know that.
Well, thank you. For being so touching and answered. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple of things to round up. Do not forget, SFL EU is now done. It is no longer happening on Monday, so that means the airways are opened up on Mondays on Capcom 5. So there might not be anything. We're still going to remain on the Tuesday. However, you can catch the archives of SFL EU and all the individual matches on this very own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Capcom Fires, or you can head on over to the YouTube channel for the Capcom Fires archive. We haven't had the splash page yet. It might come up, it might not come up, who knows, but we will move on from there. There was also something else we needed to mention as well. I did have it here on my phone. Where is it? Can we get the LCQ bracket thing up one more time? Can we get that up?
Yes.
Is he there? He's not there.
Yes, please.
I don't know if he's there.
You want me to read it out loud for you?
He might be there. I don't know. I'm trying to get the LCQ page.
Hello?
Get one more time.
Hello?
No, not the bracket. The splash page. You know what I mean? Right. Anyway, there's over 230 players here in the LCQ. Marv and Giyu are going. Maybe you guys will be one of those players as well. Hit that link. It will take you to the Start GG page. You can see who signed up. If you want to avoid someone, I'm sorry you're not going to avoid anyone because they all want to get into the cup. And then it's going to be a good time there. Hopefully we'll see you in the stream, twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters. There's also, on the same week that this is happening, the finals is happening, but also SFL finals. The global finals is happening. There you have February 17th and the 18th in Hollywood, California. If you want to go and see that, because if you watch the Street Fighter League Japan finals, they actually filled out an entire, not an arena, but they did fill out a hall to watch the players in the finals, and that was pretty good. And I know that the Japanese are very supportive of the esports scene over there, so that was very good to see. But this is for the World Championships 2022 season. Go over to that link now, capcom.us/cup tickets, if you are planning, or you want to go watch this in person. If you find yourself in the area, you live around Hollywood, or it doesn't take that long to get down there, and please do consider it as well. And of course, don't forget, SFL US is still happening. I think there's still one more week. There's 1 more week or 2 more weeks of SFL US, but then we should be having, there should be updates happening on the Capcom Fighters Twitter account. Make sure you follow that as well. That's super important. And again, we will find out what it is. But yes, I believe we have covered just about everything. Once again, congratulations to Team Mouse, Problem X, and the rest of the UK crew for winning SFL EU. Great performance. I'm not going to tell you where the trophy is. I'm not going to tell you where the trophy is. It might be in a certain commentator's house. I don't know who that is. Ooh. But yeah, that trophy has gone missing. I don't know where it's gone. Somebody picked it up and put a picture on themselves on the internet. What a vain idiot. Just put it there. But yes, the MVP, the winners of the team. Make sure you follow these guys individually as well. They're all lovely people. They don't play lovely characters, but they're lovely people. Anyway, that's just how the FGC works. We're great people. Our character choice is very interesting.
Usually the nicest people are the ones who are going to smoke you the hardest.
I mean, listen, it's always Abigail players. It's always Abigail players. They're like, yeah, man, I'm happy to be. I'm humble. And it's like, who'd you play? Abigail. It's like, oh, wow.
It's like they're nice guys, but sheesh.
Anyway.
Sheesh.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's another week, another episode put in the books for Sets. We hope you enjoyed this week. And we're going to see you back next week for another episode. So do take care. Keep playing Street Fighter. And again, we'll see you next time. See you soon.
Yoga Flame.
Later.